Sorry. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Fashionably late, Clinton. Not that late, but very fashionable.
I have like the bass EQ on these headphones, and so I really heard the bass on the music. It was very impressive.
Thumping.
Very impressive. Thumping.
Full zero, by the way.
Thumping.
that?
Hello. Oh,
Hello. Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
So
Your audio's wrong. Just so you
Oh,
know.
girl, I'm so sorry.
no, my audio's not wrong. My mic
there we go.
is in front of me.
Oh.
I like your
My
hat.
bad.
I like your hat.
Yeah, but like
It's the sunburn.
this is
Oh.
why it's bad. It's bad.
Does it hurt?
okay.
Are you okay?
It hurts. It
I'm
hurts, and
sorry.
it's already like peeling, so you know it's bad.
Yeah.
This was not Flo's smartest move. This was
Sunburns rarely are someone's smartest move.
I mean, I'm just
Fair.
usually so much better about it, but
I wish I could say the same.
it's hard at a festival because
uh,
it's just so dirty.
Yeah. It's a point of contention in the Howell household. I don't wear enough sunscreen, and my wife doesn't like
You
it.
don't. You never wear enough sunscreen. Every time I see you after you go camping or you go snowboarding, you are always coming back with a sunburn. I'm sorry. I'm laying into you. I have known
I'm
you
used
long
to
enough.
it.
I feel like I can lay into you and say, Jason,
Yes, I
you
can
need to wear
take
more
it.
sunscreen.
I can take it. Yeah, I need to wear more sunscreen.
I'm saying this is a friend who loves you and adores you, but also loves outdoor stuff just like you do.
You know what I don't like about sunscreen? I don't like the oily face factor. Like, that's like my main thing. I hate it.
So I started
can't
using the
stand
vacation
it.
brand. And let me tell you, the influencers were onto something.
Oh, really?
It smells like bananas. The
Okay.
body lotion is really nice and you smell like bananas and summertime, and then they have the spritz spray sunscreen, and that's the stuff that I wasn't using enough.
Don't know about the bananas thing, but okay.
I'm gonna have to get you some
It's
fancy
not like a
cr-
strong banana smell. It's a really
It's a
it's a
mellow
really
banana.
subtle. Yeah, it's
Do they make it? Do they make it for darker skin? Because most sunscreen that I try leaves just
Oh.
a giant white streak on my skin.
Oh, there
one
is a
seems
brand.
to be a big favorite. You know the brand Vacation, Win?
No, actually.
Never heard of that brand.
They have it at Costco, guys. They have a 2-pack with a free air freshener.
Oh.
There's a brand called Black Girl Sunscreen, which is made for people with
is.
darker skin and no white cast. I forget if it's physical or chemical. It's all chemicals, but like not physical. But yes, no white cast. Understood. It's very difficult.
They have a couple different types. But their thing is that they smell the best. So
I do
that's
like
their
a good
marketing
smelling.
thing.
I do like a good smell, a good smelling facial product because it makes me want to use it more, so I can smell.
Yeah,
good.
exactly. So I have like this weird 2-camera setup. I know it's very messy. But for the review, I can show off the phone a little bit. It's just very dirty.
The
And I
phone
wonder,
or the
Jason, if you-
camera?
You can
The
hit
phone.
the present button at the bottom. I think that can change. That can add another screen right before you need to go
Hold on,
live.
can I try it real quick? Just so I
Yeah.
wait. How does that work?
Oh, it might be
Present?
me because I'm signed in. So okay, so what exactly do you need? You have a second camera. Are you connected?
I have a second camera
Okay.
Slide.
So
that's facing down.
so are you switching on your side to that second camera, or how
I
does that
can.
work?
I mean, it's very easy. I just do. Hold on. It's very easy. I just take forever to do it. I just
All
do
I
this.
have to do is, oh, that works. Oops.
Obviously, it's not like the nicest thing because this thing is so like fingerprinty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, mine's too. That's just commiserating.
Right here. Okay, right here seems to be where to put it. So it would just be like this.
Yeah. Okay. That works. That
Yeah.
works.
And it's
Yeah.
on its side because
Because that's facing you.
the Brio is on its side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of the way it mounts, I can't mount it the other way.
Yeah.
which is a Brio problem, not a Flo problem. It's kind of a show problem. It's okay.
It's
Clinton,
fine.
I know that was my pin. Like, it's not, that's, first of all, it's not my pin on my May phone, so never try it. This is just the pin for my review phones because it's like the easiest. It's my birthday. So there you go.
There you go. And I can see the
everyone.
camera floating above.
I know there's nothing you could do about that. This thing is really reflective.
No,
and,
no.
You know,
I have that issue too.
That's part of the experience.
It's part of the
right?
fun. Part of the
I have a
fun.
pack of 400 of those lens wipes from Zeiss that I just like constantly use on my glasses, on all my phones and everything.
400
Yeah.
of them? What, are they disposable?
Yeah, you
or
can order
they
them
meant
at
Yeah.
Amazon.
Oh.
You can just get them from like Amazon, Costco, things like that.
I just-
subscribe
yeah.
and save.
Oh, those. Okay,
Yep.
I got you.
I always have this nearby me. I live electronics, so and I can't stand smudges, which is
I
such
just
an
take
awful
the
life.
phone and I go like this.
Okay.
And I rub it under my armpit. And it's perfect. No one wants to use the phone. I did it with that foldable that you have, Flo, that you lent to me. Yeah. Right before
That
giving it back to
explains why
you.
it was disgusting when you gave it back to me. Just kidding, it was not.
Wait,
guys.
so was that the banana smell, or was that maybe like was?
No,
was it
maybe
the-
that was the banana smell.
Yeah, maybe it was the banana smell.
Oh,
Jason.
Ew.
Oh,
Ew.
Jason, look at this. Look at this.
Grody.
Can you guys see this? Hold on.
Here,
Let me
let's
see if I can do this.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is ridiculous.
Looking clean.
Okay, there's already a scratch on the screen.
Oh, there is. Look at that.
Look at it.
Oh, really?
That's nasty.
Thanks, Warp Tour.
Oh, my goodness. If you had taken that
Yep.
camping, just imagine how many more scratches would be there.
It would have been worse.
Yeah.
I was not expecting. Let me change this camera back to me.
You were not
sorry, y'all.
expecting so much moshing.
I was not expecting so much dust, but
No.
I forgot, like, oh duh, they're doing it on Long Beach shoreline. It's sand and dirt, of course.
Who
And
was the
sand is
highlight?
super scratchy. Who was the highlight?
Yeah.
The enders were 311 Rise Against and Falling in Reverse, which is the problematic fave of Gen Z.
I think
Problematic.
I've heard of them.
Falling
For
in
that
Reverse
reason.
is like they're very punchy, they're very good, but like their lyrics really bother me because they're very like angry guy.
Okay.
And I don't do
Mhm.
angry guy very well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like angry guy, angry about like his life, not like, oh, the government,
Yeah. Interesting.
and not like in a Papa Roach way either, like, oh, that's kind of like to me, I don't know. It's just I read the lyrics, they were a little too problematic for me, which sucks because I really liked the music. But anyway, so yes, there's a lot of scratchable stuff in the air.
Yeah, no good. No
Yeah.
good for an interior display on a foldable.
Yeah,
Ews.
so that's why we're gonna talk about it
Yucky.
today, because I kind of knew that was gonna happen, and
And it
just
did.
proved my point.
I get what you
did.
mean, though. I was watching again the Netflix train wreck documentary on Woodstock '99. And
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
so
remember
good.
Woodstock '99. Like all the MTV coverage of it, because I was like, "What is
Yeah.
going on?"
God,
Of
it-
course
I didn't
it
realize
Have
it
you
was
seen
like
the documentary, Flo? You need to see the documentary if you haven't seen it.
No, but I will add it to my things to put on the fold that I can watch.
it'll
Yeah,
make
no.
you up.
Before I go
I mean,
home.
obviously there were things that I
Street
didn't
part.
actually realize, especially like as a full grown ass woman. Like, oh, okay, that happened. Great.
Oh yeah, there's some really nasty stuff that happened.
Yeah,
there.
like
it's
I was
an
kind
ugly-
of shocked.
It's an ugly
I was
story,
shocked.
actually.
I forgot
Yeah.
about the '94
I
one.
can't wait to watch it, guys. I
Yeah,
love
no,
that kind of
it'll
stuff.
be.
Yeah, I mean it's full on disturbing at points where you're just like, oh my god, like what
Seriously?
a
Right now, I'm
What a
watching Shiny
nightmare.
Happy People season 2, which is all about like the 90s and 2000s pop Christianity and like their response to MTV
oh that
and all
sounds
that stuff.
interesting.
And
Oh
it's
shoot! I
very
need to watch
triggering.
that.
I went to Christian school in high school in the 2000s, so it's very like,
Is that on Netflix?
oh, I remember that.
Oh, I think I remember hearing about this. Oh, okay. I'll have to watch that.
I need to watch that. I love that kind of like intersectional intersection of like that culture, music, and
I was
all
in cults, man. I'll watch anything on religion.
I love cults. Aren't they so great?
Oh, girl,
so
there's a
funny.
lot of the Korean. There's like a couple of documentaries on like Korean cults, and it's like, Oh, it's a tough watch, but it's
You want to
Fast-
send me a list? You know
I'll
I
send you a
will
list.
vibe.
This is like a whole thing with like women, and there was this great video essayist I watched about like why women tend to like abject content, like true crime, like
I know.
And I was like, yeah, and I was like, this is me. This is like also like another really good friend of mine. Like always talk about or like true crime documentaries. We walk on Netflix, and our husbands are all like, "Why are you watching this?" But it's like a whole thing. Yeah, it's like a whole
because
thing.
it's educational.
It is. It's just anyway. Yeah, it's
That's
very
an excuse
deep.
you want to give yourself?
Listen, I know all about the perils
really
of
happen?
Scientology, Michelle. Okay, I will never be roped into it. You should be happy. You could lose me someday,
This is
I
how
could
you
come
make
on
sure
here
you're
talking
never
about
fall victim
Dianetics.
to it.
and it's all over. This brand is done.
All right, should we do something?
Yeah,
That's
Like a
something being the
show?
show because we got a show and then we got a show after show.
Oh yeah, we got a
Um,
lot to talk about.
Apparently, we had like a sizable pre-show. We're just showing all over the place.
Show
Show for
show
show.
and faux show.
I need to
Oh,
come
show.
earlier. I know.
Faux shizzo. Let's see here. I'm happy to do the intro thingy thing. Yeah, that works. We could do that. For some reason, my right click is not working on this mouse. That is amazing. Great. It's going to be bugging me for the next 2
Great.
hours. Okay. Oh yeah, and
Ron
Ron
is
is
off
not here,
today
Clinton. Sorry to disappoint you.
because- Yeah, it's 5 people, so it was Ron's like, I'm gonna take a night, so let Ron have the night.
Yeah, we've kind of just like settled into the idea that like the show is probably best and moves
Rotating.
along best when it's 4 people,
Yes.
and you know, so we'll just kind of rotate around and stuff, and
Yeah.
it'll be different mixtures of different recipes of people.
And he made a good point that all 4 of us have had some Z-fold 7 time. So
Yeah.
it's germane.
Germain, it's germ. You're right.
That's my husband's favorite word, germane.
Lately,
That's-
interesting.
that
You know
sounds
what?
like
an
That's a
AI
word to
word.
say.
That sounds like Delve. Delve and
Jackson, if you're
germain,
nasty.
2 AI words.
Delve?
Yeah, Delve is one of them. Where it's like if Delve is in something, then people are like, "Oh, you used AI."
I love Delve, but I
Delve.
use that all the
I used
That's
Delve
just how I
before it was AI
write,
cool.
like-
You know.
I use a lot of M dashes.
I
Yeah, I
use M
don't
dashes
use
too,
M
girl.
dashes.
I love
Cool.
M dashes.
I
It's
do
just like
too.
They teach you in journalism.
I hate how
like,
it's being associated with like AI now. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
it's-
you use it.
there's-
You
there's
must
this-
have been written that with ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
no, I
an
just
M
like
dash stink now.
dashes.
It's got a stench to it.
I even know the keyboard
Okay.
shortcut on my keyboard, on Mac keyboards.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this.
All right.
Let's do the show.
All right, so I'm gonna backstage people. Put you on backstage. Make sure and check the bowl of M&Ms. Make sure that there's some red M&Ms in there, and when you find them in there, you know that we took care of you. We listened to you because we're just awesome around here. Okie dokie. Stand by. Here we go. Yeah, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Android Faithful. This is the show, your weekly source, in fact, for the latest news, hardware, apps for the world of Android. I am one of 4 hosts this evening, Jason Howell.
What's up? I'm one of your other hosts. We're into it now.
What's up?
Another host for tonight, Michelle Rahman.
Oh yeah, and
And last
On the
but
ones
not
and
least,
twos.
I'm Florence Ion.
yeah, boom.
I'll just try to channel like
Shakalaka.
90s MTV VJs
Yeah.
for a second.
What's up? All right, up
Feels
next,
like
we're
it
gonna
was
bring
a
out
light
NSYNC.
and like tie dye, so it's
It's
like I feel like
perfect.
we're gonna
Totally.
get really, yeah.
This is working. Let's redesign the show in
like it.
you know,
Oh,
to
God.
be like a late 90s MTV show.
Oh,
I think people
I'm down.
I think
for
our
that,
core
as long
audience
as
would love
we-
that.
yeah.
Well, but the thing is, Jason, we'd have to like use the cuts. Like we would have to set up a macro pad where we could like do
Yeah.
the very specific 90s cuts. Because that's what makes it 90s, really.
Yeah, and we'd have to
Yes.
welcome on 90s bands, 90s boy bands as our guests to talk about Android every night. Like
We
that
don't
would
we
be
could just
actually
do
kind of
grunge
interesting.
bands.
We could do that too, if they're still alive. Anyways, got a little dark. Sorry about that. Everyone, thank you so much for being with us, even when we tell really bad taste jokes like that. And yeah, hey, patrons, you will forgive us for everything that we do, almost everything. So thank you for that. Patreon.com/AndroidFaithful. You are the awesomest ever. And we have another giveaway. Scratching my head a little bit with this one, not gonna lie. But I think it's funny, and I'm really curious to hear from our amazing patron who wins Ron's old Asus ZenPad 3S 10 tablet with case. And Ron wants you to know.
Was that in the running?
Ron wants you to know, sure, it may be maxed out at Android 7.0, but it's a great little tablet that could be in the Android Hall of Fame. Emphasis on could, in my opinion. And was Ron's personal tablet for several years. So if you've ever wanted to own Ron's personal tablet that he used for several years, well, one of you is going to get that privilege.
Wait, is this what we're doing? Because I have a lot of personal things I could give away. I'm,
Apparently we are. Yes. I guess we are. Patrons get our tech that we don't use anymore. The winner, I've really sold this. I'm sorry. Winner is Daryl Hilson. Daryl Hilson, you lucky dog. You get the Asus ZenPad 3S 10 tablet. When did that tablet come out? I'm curious.
Oh my God.
Let's look it up.
Gotta look it up. Although Ron did include some photos to get us really excited about what's coming. I mean, the beauty of getting an old tablet is you get to take a walk back in time.
2016.
Yeah. Oh man, this thing's almost 10 years old. Oh, see?
Yes, Clinton Woodward in chat. Daryl can refuse a shipment if he gets a heads up if he so chooses. Just saying.
I mean, look.
I don't see Ron's signature on the back.
No, that's
I
true.
didn't ship it out.
Ron might need to put a signature on the back.
Ron, sign it. Ron, what are you doing giving us stuff without signing it? Ron, I'm yelling at you to sign this before you send it off.
See a beautiful case that you can't use for anything else other than to be a case for this tablet. I mean, if there's one thing I've learned right now, it's that this tablet still operates, and that's a good thing.
It's good to have legacy stuff around. Like I've been playing, remember the HTC Re little action camera?
Yeah.
I've been playing with it, and like it doesn't work with any of the new versions of Android. So I've been keeping some phones and tablets specifically on very old versions of Android, just because I know future me is going to want to tinker with old stuff, and I don't want it to be a complicated thing where I'm like flashing stuff. I want to just be able to go in the closet and get a not exploded device and use it.
Yeah.
Wait,
so
is Daryl, is that you in chat right now with us?
Is Daryl in chat? Do we get live reaction? Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yes, it is.
Daryl.
Hi, Daryl.
Daryl's reaction is facepalm. Well, lucky dog, you. Yes, Daryl does not seem amused.
Congratulations, we're sorry.
Hey, on the bright side,
this is Daryl. Listen, this is
there's a lot of companies that literally will take any tablet. You know, if you want to trade it in, be my guest. Like Samsung, for example, sometimes they literally take anything you got and they'll give you like $200 for it.
Oh, that's
true. A good point. Could be worth money if you want to trade it in the next time you buy something. Interesting. Okay. Well, I think we have a winner here. Let us know what you actually, honestly, Daryl, once you get this tablet, give it like a month, put a little month distance between receiving it and finding out what you actually do with it. And then send us an email and let us know. So
it still works as an e-reader, guys. It's not like, it's not a decrepit,
Sorry.
Well, I mean, it might be. All we saw was the opening screen. It could take 20 minutes to log into your account.
Probably took care of it.
I mean, I was pretty impressed at how unscathed that tablet was. If it was Ron's tablet that he used for years, like mine would be, you wouldn't want my tablet that I've used for years. It will be scratched all to high.
I've seen your laptops, Jason.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep picking on you tonight.
Yeah, you do. Jeez, I deserve it. It's
no,
fine.
I'm sorry. I just want you to wear sunscreen. That's all.
Okay. Well, I will get on that. I'll put you in touch with my wife so you can
I'm sorry.
She would not
nagging
enjoy
on
being
each shoulder.
responsible for that.
I know.
I'll do what I can. But anyways, Daryl, thank you for being a patron. Thank you to all of our patrons for supporting us, and thank you for taking our junk. We appreciate you.
Oh God.
More coming.
Jason, you said the quiet
More
part out
coming.
loud.
Listen, I have some good junk. I've been doing this job for 15 years, so I got some good junk.
That water bottle I sent last week is pretty nice. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
water
bottle. I have too many dang water bottles.
Yeah. No. So do I.
Yeah.
That's why I kept it, Michelle. Thank you for giving yours away. I was selfish and I kept mine.
Yeah. I don't need another water bottle.
Does anyone want my little Palm OS then? How about
well, that's cool.
Or should I keep it for myself?
Is that a Palm Pre? Is that the Pre?
Yes, it is the Palm Pre.
I mean, that's a pretty notable device.
Stop it. Are you serious? It's the Palm Pre?
Yeah. Or the tiny one, yeah? Is that what we're talking about?
Oh.
It's been living in my drawer for like however long.
Waiting for you to I don't know. What
I don't know. I thought I would test
literally
apps
just
on
taking
Begging for you to power it back on. Give me some life.
Oh boy.
Actually, that's a good point. Maybe I should see if it powers on. I don't want to give nobody something that could explode.
I will say, and then we can
Foreshadowing.
get on to news because we have a lot to talk about today.
Yes,
we do. All of us probably have like an archive of old devices, right? Ron included. That's why he's getting rid of this one. But I pulled out like the Nothing Phone 1 the other day because I was doing shots for my Nothing Phone 3 review, and I can't get past the lock screen. I can't remember my PIN code on it. And so those old devices, like sometimes you're just like, yeah, I've got it, but I can't do anything with it because I literally cannot remember what my PIN was from that time, which kind of sucks. For the Nothing Phone 1 too, like that's a like kind of a notable device, you know?
Have you tried like 11111 1 2 3 4 5 6? Maybe you just set one of those because you weren't using as your daily driver or something.
I've tried a few of them and all of my kind of personal notable ones that I would think, but every time I do it now, it's like, now you have to wait 60 seconds. You tried 15 times. You tried 16 times. Wait 3 minutes. And I give up. I'm like, I don't care. Moving on with my life. Anyways, moving on with the show. Let's get into some news, and we'll start with you, Flo.
Oh my God. So this was really annoying. I came home yesterday after driving. I'm making this about me. See, already. Came home yesterday from driving home, and none of the lights in my house were working. I couldn't get Google Home to listen to me. It turns out that there was actually something going on. So it turns out that there were multiple issues with Google Home's smart home gadgets, which is a bummer. Commands weren't working or being responded to. I definitely found myself cursing quite a bit yesterday because I was just trying to turn the damn lights on in my office. It worked through the app. The app was fine, the Google Home app, but any voice commands were not working, which was wild. Google actually acknowledged the problem that was raised by Google Home users. And in 2 posts on X, the chief product officer for Google Home and Nest said that Google wants to apologize for what you're experiencing and feeling and is committed to getting this right. I hope that they recorded me cursing because
yeah.
I have consented to my recordings being sent so that they can hear me cursing when stuff like this happens because I don't like it.
Like, you're going to slow again, cursing.
Well, but here's the thing, right? We've been using this for 9 years now. It's been set up. I haven't changed it in 9 years, but it is bringing to mind the fact that these devices have been around for such a long time. Google did say that they're working on a long-term solution to provide better reliability and capability, and that they will have more to share this fall. We don't know if that means that made by Google, but usually what they do is sometimes like in November, they'll come out with some like smart home stuff. I feel like they've been doing that the last couple of years. It's been the cadence. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening because definitely there's the Google Home smart home here at my home is in need of some real maintenance, especially since we made this change over to Gemini. I'm definitely noticing it's just not the same experience it's been for the last nearly 10 years.
Which is to say that the Google Homes don't necessarily have Gemini yet. But while Google has shifted its focus to Gemini, it's shifted away from Assistant. And
but the voice has changed.
On your home it's changed?
Yes. So I have the Gemini voice, the new Gemini voice.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know that.
But only on half of them.
It only appears on like some queries, not all of them.
The latest.
You can tell, like
so
it's
the
a
Nest
very
Audio
different
has
voice.
it.
How weird. So
Yeah.
it's like it has its feet in both places. That's so weird.
It's like there's the old robot and the new robot, and you could tell by the cadence of the voice and just kind of.
Assistant, you want to take this one? Nah, you go for it, Gemini. Okay.
I mean, I'm expecting that to happen. So
the bot, they're behind the scenes negotiating with each other. No, it's really annoying. Like I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago on the show that we were having the simplest query, like the basic stuff that I only really use these things for anymore, like alarm or play music or whatever, or turn off the lights. Those are like the three things that we ever use it for, but definitely alarm. And we had one in here, and for everything we tried, we could not set an alarm. So I had to bring another Google Home into here, and it worked fine to do the alarm. And so
I remember your family used to rely on Family Bell.
Link.
Family Bell.
Family Bell. That's right.
Family Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. During COVID, that was a big time thing in our house.
It's just such a I'm glad that we're talking about it just briefly, because I want us to keep bringing up the fact that, like, while this stuff has been happening in front of us with phones and watches and Android and Gemini, there's all this other stuff in the ecosystem that, like, people are still using, but it's kind of changing, but not very loudly. Like, for instance, I have to start thinking about what I'm going to do with the smoke detectors, because I'm still on the Nest Protect. And I know there's like a whole thing where I can go to First Alert and get the ones that Google suggests, but like, do you guys really think I have space for that in my life right now?
No.
Like, with everything else I'm doing with my house,
No, I think it raises a big question, though, or brings into view a certain kind of issue, which is that we've been, especially with devices like this, buying hardware that's tied to cloud services for many years now. And that's just not something that is supported in perpetuity forever and ever until Earth explodes. So there is a time at which that hardware becomes useless, because at some point Google decides, well, it doesn't make sense for us to support that. When you said 9 years, I'm like, oh, well, this actually makes a lot of sense. Like, how many devices do we buy that last 9 years that are connected and pulling from the cloud like that?
The Nest
I don't know. I
thermostat.
feel like that's pretty rare.
The last Nest thermostat I think I had it over 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, which is not to say, it's not like Google sold these 10 years ago and then stopped selling them, and wow, it's 10 years later, they're still supporting it. They've been selling new versions of this, in the last handful of years. So, so that would inevitably
it was
extend
part
it out further,
of a previous life. I think it's just important to talk about the fact that this is not a washing machine,
Right.
They
were also ridiculously inexpensive.
Yeah, and it's gonna constantly change and maybe even deprecate completely, and we just have to make sure that, like, this is stuff we're taking into consideration before we bring this stuff into our home, even a decade later.
That's why a lot of folks, a lot of the more tech savvy folks, I'm not saying we're not tech savvy or anything, but I'm like, the really tech savvy folks are investing in like ecosystem like Home Assistant. Like, they're going out before they even consider buying Google Nest or Amazon Echo related products. Are like, I want something that's compatible with Home Assistant, because then they can control. They're not doing anything on the cloud. It's all their own home ecosystem, their own home service.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it's still work, Vishal, to like set all that up.
It's a lot of work. Yes,
it is a work.
That's a home maintenance weekend at least, just to start it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It takes a certain kind of.
Who has a weekend anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It also makes the lack of Matter and Thread compatible devices all the more disappointing, because like, we were kind of promised that, this is going to solve a lot of these issues with interoperability, but also local control, because that's something that Thread can do, if you have Thread enabled devices. But so far there are so few devices that are compatible with Thread and Matter that it's not really something you can build an ecosystem like out of if you need a lot of devices at your home.
Oh my goodness. Well, if your Google Home situation isn't working at home, this is why. It's a lot of transition.
Yeah. Growing pains. Growing pains for a device that we've had
Growing
9 years.
So
All right,
like,
Michelle, what you got? Another canary
Oh.
in the coal mine?
Yeah. Speaking of transitions, Google has transitioned people from the first Canary release to the second Canary release. So earlier this month, Google released the new Android Canary program, which is a replacement for the Android Developer Program. And the second Canary build was released at the end of last week. And as usual, there are stuff in it that Google doesn't really tell you about in their changelog. So some of the first things that we found is if you go into the display settings, and then you go to dark mode settings, you'll find a new expanded dark mode. There's two modes. There's the standard dark mode, which just darkens apps that have native support for a dark mode, as in like their developers provided a dark mode compatible version of the app. And then you have an expanded dark mode, which basically the system automatically darkens apps, even if they don't support dark mode natively. So as you might expect, this will cause some issues in certain applications because, you're not really, apps aren't all designed to be inverted perfectly. So it does warn you that you might experience some visual issues if you invert certain applications. But, if you find dark apps more comfortable on the eyes, or you need it for accessibility reasons because you find it discomforting to use apps in light mode, then you can enable this expanded dark mode whenever you need it, and then turn it off when you don't need it. And this
Wow.
basically just
some of that stuff just totally fades away, doesn't it?
yeah, it's just not going to
Looking at
work
some of
for
the
every
images.
application.
That's
Some apps
not
it'll work pretty well for,
accessible.
but other apps it won't work in, and it's really up to you to do this on a per app basis. Like, you want to enable it when it's
Right.
necessary and disable it when it's not.
And that's not surfacing like in developer options. That's just in
No,
the
there is a developer option that is called override force dark, and that would basically do the
That's
same
right.
thing as this. But that was in developer options, and it was kind of not easy to find. And then there's
Yeah.
also another accessibility option called color inversion, which, as its name implies, inverts all the colors, including colors and images. So it would basically
Right.
make photos unviewable because it would just completely mess them up.
Or cool
But this one
looking.
only inverts the colors in an app itself, so it won't mess with photos or videos or any other thing like that. So it is better than the existing
Okay.
stuff, but still not. It's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
And the next big feature is something I've been waiting for a while. So in the second quarterly release of Android 15, Google introduced this Linux terminal app that allows you to run a full-fledged build of Debian, which is a popular Linux distribution, in a virtual machine on your Android phone. Google has been working behind the scenes to expand this, and now in this second Canary release, you can run full-fledged graphical Linux apps on your Android phone and through this terminal. So, like back when I first showed this off in January, I decided, heck, let me just run Doom on this thing, and of course, it ran. Like, I mean, what do you expect? It's Doom. It literally runs out of potato. But the more interesting thing is, like over time, Google has made this experience a lot more stable. They've added audio support, and a lot more packages work now. So this weekend, I was able to install like full-fledged desktop apps that aren't available on Android right now, such as the desktop version of Chromium. Like the full-fledged desktop Chrome, not the watered-down mobile version we have on Android right now. I was also able to install GIMP, which is a popular open source image editing software, and also LibreOffice, which is another popular open source office suite. And these applications aren't available on Android. Like, there are, of course, image editing software. There's, of course, Office software for Android, but these are like more full-fledged professional versions of these software than what you have on Android. And what I think is most interesting about this effort is you can clearly see the parallels between this and the Linux and the Crostini, which is like the Linux container that's available on Chrome OS. That is what allows Chrome OS to support applications like Android Studio, which is what allows developers to actually build Android apps on Chromebooks. Before the introduction of this Linux terminal, there was no way, except for like cloud machines, virtual cloud machines running in the cloud, to actually build Android apps on an Android device. But with the introduction of this Linux terminal, Google is working to make it possible for you to build Android apps on Android itself.
Yeah.
And that was like a major shortcoming. That's something they wanted to address with the introduction of this Linux terminal. And another thing that they wanted to address is the fact that there's a lot of games that aren't available on Android and might not ever be available because developers won't be interested in porting them. Well, one thing we've seen is that on Chrome OS, you have, I forgot what they call it, but basically you can run Steam. You can run full PC games through Steam on Chrome OS. And it's called Borealis, their project. It's using the same Linux subsystem on Chrome OS to run Steam games. And in the future, it might even be possible to do the same thing on Android. Although there's a caveat is that most Android devices have ARM-based CPUs, and the vast majority of games are not compatible or compiled for ARM-based CPUs. So there would need to be a lot of additional work that would be required in order to make them compatible with Android devices, such as the Proton compatibility layer, which is very popular and is what allows the Steam Deck to run a lot of Windows games on that Linux-based OS. That would need to be updated to be compatible with ARM. You need to do things. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but I think there's a bright future ahead for this project, especially because it seems with the rumors that actually not even rumors at this point. With the confirmation that Google is working to combine Chrome OS and Android, this project would basically open up and make Android more enticing to developers and gamers, which, there's not really much of incentive for a developer to get an Android device. There's not really much incentive for a gamer to use an Android PC, right? So if you have these capabilities in the future, maybe Android PCs will be somewhat enticing to developers and gamers. Who knows?
Or you could at least do a bunch of cool stuff with it.
Yeah. I mean, this opens up
More-
so many
more
use
cool
cases that you
stuff.
can't do right now.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah.
just exciting. Like the tinkerer in me is like, yay!
That would be
Yeah,
like true Android dev to develop Android on Android. That's like the ultimate. I'll have to keep that in mind.
I tried it
Heck
when
yeah.
I installed IntelliJ. It wouldn't run though. I think there was an issue with IntelliJ and the display server that this current Linux server, the Linux distribution uses right now. I'm not a Linux guy, so I don't know how to debug it any further.
Yeah, it also Android Studio and IntelliJ eat memory like a mofo, so it might not be. We'll just wait till the
Oh, it would
actual
run
laptops
terribly,
come.
but
Yeah.
I can wait. If it's for the sake of being the first to compile an Android app on an Android device natively, I'll wait. Assuming it doesn't crash out and run out of memory.
Interesting. All right. Okay, so it's finally happening. I feel like for a long time it was like the thing was Chrome, Google has a computer and it's the Chrome OS, but you can't really develop on it, and that was the pursuit. And then you could install Linux on a Chrome OS, and now
It's
Chrome
silly
OS
when
and
you say it
Android
out
are
loud.
converging. Yeah, totally. And now Android and Chrome converging, and we gotta have the Linux capability there too. Anyways, it makes sense to me. Cool stuff. All right. And then Doom everywhere. I mean, because why not? What do you got, Win? Is it Win?
Well,
It's Win.
It's me. That's correct. It's my name. Yeah, we have a
Do
continuation.
they call you Win around here?
They do.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Well, Win has. Sorry, don't say third person. Well, I have something in the continuing saga of the Pixel 6a battery, and it's not great news. So just a quick summary in case you weren't paying attention. So earlier this year, several battery fires in Pixel 6a's were reported due to a subset of Pixel 6a devices having defective lithium-ion batteries, which overheated. So to address this, Google released a mandatory update for affected units in early July that basically nerfed the battery, like basically capping capacity and charging speed to kind of keep it from overheating. And that was only for devices with more than 400 charge cycles, which seems to be the root of the issue. And along with this, just interesting to note that Google offers some recompense for the situation in the form of $100 cash money or $150 credit to the Google Online Store or a free battery replacement.
$50 more.
$50 more. So yeah, originally it was like 50 and 100, but I think it actually ended up being 100 and 150 respectively. So
The 50 and 100 was for the Pixel 4a. They
Pixel
offer a
4a.
little more
Okay,
for
my
the
bad.
6A.
Okay. Opinions on that, but I won't say them right now. But okay, the story isn't over because unfortunately, a Reddit user has said that even after receiving the update, their phone caught fire and they posted images and they're
Cool.
frightening. Yeah, they basically went on Reddit and said that they got woken up in the middle of the night. This was like 3 days ago as of this recording on July 26th. And unfortunately, we can't load the videos, but they're a little horrifying. Like the screen is burned. You can kind of tell where the fire was in the screen. There's like kind of like melted, singed plastic and all kinds of such. This happened while they were sleeping. And it is disappointing because, yes, they installed the update. That was like obviously the first question that people asked. They did not get the battery replacement. And here is a very important sticking point is that battery replacements aren't widely available for people that may have the Pixel 6a. There are walk-in options. There's a mail-in option, but the walk-in option. Oh, there we go. We've got pictures if you're on the video. And yes, it was definitely on fire. There's charcoal and ash. There's burnt and
there's
yeah,
nastiness.
There's nastiness. Imagine this sitting on your nights, waking up to your phone on fire on your nightstand.
If you even wake up to it, let's
I know,
right? To be honest,
It's too late.
Yeah. And they did say that the smell was awful. Obviously, that's in their system now, and yeah, so kind of trying to be, the follow up that this person received on Reddit was like, why didn't you get the battery replacement? And this person lives in a place where the walk-in is not really an option. It's not widely available. It's not even available in all countries where you can get a Pixel. And also, yes, you can ship the phone in for a battery swap, but I mean, yeah, like, okay, some of us can live without phones, but for some of us, we can't live without our phones for 2 weeks. And I don't know, $100 cash or $150 store credit doesn't really seem like recompense for this kind of risk happening. So there you go. And this is not the only person that has reported a fire after updating. There's been a couple more. So that is where we're at with the Pixel 6a battery saga. Not good, because it seems that even if you have the update, your battery can still catch on fire. So there you go. Question. Yeah,
and it's an economic, like I call it the economical. It's the cheaper phone.
Yeah.
And so just offering that little bit of money to somebody who maybe the reason they chose that phone is because it was much cheaper than the other Pixels, like that sucks. And I also imagine that's why it's hard to get people to trade it in, because a lot of those devices are, I mean, they're not big flagships, so somebody's not paying attention to the news about it that much. You know, maybe they're harder to access because it's a second buy phone, or maybe it was like a free phone through a carrier or whatever. So I don't know. It's just I can't believe this is still happening after the Note 7.
Yeah, and those are really wonderful points, Flo. That this is a phone meant for more people, a wider audience. Why is it catching on fire so much? Yeah. Anyway,
at least the Note 7 was like, that was like a power user's phone.
Yeah.
The people who were buying that phone were like major Samsung fans, but this is like the people's. This is the people's hardware, and it should not be doing that. It's like when Firestone tires, remember, in the 90s?
A little bit.
I don't remember. I mean, I remember it.
Oh, you guys don't remember? Okay, never mind.
A little bit. No,
the details.
They recalled the tires anyway.
That's yeah.
So the Note 7, when that happened, there were a lot of incidents of fire. Like there were multiples, and that's why it made
one after the other in
a short condensed amount of time. Now, compared to the amount of those devices out there, it was probably a very small percentage, but there happened to be a number of those fires that happened in a short amount of time. Have we really heard about many fires actually happening with these outside of Google's promise to or kind of requirement of updating the OS? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Not to the scale the Note 7, because remember the Note 7
sure
was
not
so
to the
bad
scale.
that it happened on an airplane.
Yeah, and that's why. Yeah,
but
I don't remember
finding out about this.
What the actual scale of the Note
Yeah.
7 was, like how many devices it affected. But I mean, considering the fact that the Pixel 4a was affected by battery problems, Pixel 6a and Pixel 7a, I think clearly there's some fundamental problem maybe with the battery supplier Google was using.
Something weird going on.
That can't just be coincidence that three phones in the A series have had like similar problems.
No, I don't think
Michelle,
it
is it the
coincidence at
supplier
all.
or is it the programming?
Well, it probably
wonder.
whatever like is regulating
Yeah.
the charging or the battery itself,
Or the
you know, there's
battery,
something,
yeah,
some
supply is
fundamental
faulty,
problem.
or
Like it just
yeah,
can't
there's
be
something
coincidence.
going on. If all three of them, have those issues. Yeah, so it's that, for me, it's that balanced with the fact that, like, to my knowledge, we've only heard of this actually happening once, right? I can't think of a Pixel 4a
It's
or a 6a or a
scattered.
7a.
I mean, if you go on Reddit, you could find.
So we've actually heard reports of like my phone lit on fire, my 7a lit on fire. I guess that's what I'm saying is Google
I don't
knows
know
about
the
something.
7A.
I think the 7A is part of it too, or I think I could be wrong on that. But anyways, my point being, like, sometimes with these stories, because I think Google did a really poor job, and I've said it many times, really poor job communicating around this. They obviously wanted to kind of be cagey about this and didn't want people to clue into it, and people clued into it because they were being cagey about it, and, you know, because their phones were being basically bricked as a result. At the same time, there haven't been a whole lot of fires. Like, if one fire happens, then it's like, oh, that's the thing. See, everybody, Google's horrible. And it's like, well, what about, I guess where my mind is at right now is, and this came up earlier today on DTNS, is there are millions upon hundreds of millions of phones scattered across the entire, you know, world. And there are probably many of those phones that do light on fire that we never talk about because people never report them, never know about them, whatever. Yes. And we don't know the answer to this. I don't know the answer to this, but I'm curious to know what this problem is compared to that reality, you know, and is it just that we're paying attention here, but we aren't in the other cases? You know what I mean?
One reason, one thing that I think could be the issue is that maybe these issues we're seeing in the A series Pixels is only happening, like there's a likelihood of it happening, right? It's just that it's more likely to happen the higher amount of charge cycles certain Pixel phones have gone through, and then like once they reach a certain charge cycle amount, and then you maybe, like, you know, charge it rapidly, there's like a much higher likelihood of it happening.
Yeah, that increases.
Versus like the Note, right? That happened like pretty shortly after the phone was launched, right? I don't think the phone was out for very long.
No, it wasn't out. No.
Yeah, so maybe like there was just a fundamental problem that because a lot of people had bought it, right? A lot of people had just gotten the device, and all of a sudden this started happening. So maybe there's like a problem that arose even if the battery hadn't been used for very long. So maybe that's why it was more prevalent.
Yeah.
Versus like Google is like seeing, okay, oh crap, this is something that is a high likelihood of happening if we let people with this high cycle count continue to use their device. So let's cap it off and try to reduce that chance of it happening.
Yeah. Interesting.
I do think the person noted that they were using the Steam Deck charger to charge their phone, and I forget what the wattage on that is, but regardless, yes. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. This is okay. Anyway,
lots of fires, or maybe not lots of fires. I guess that's the point. It's like, who knows how many fires, but when it happened,
one
tied
fire,
to
there should be no fires.
Well, of course there should be no fires.
No fire.
But we're talking about lithium-ion batteries. There will be fires at some point.
But
there should be no fires, but there will be.
When a laptop does this, they recall the whole bottle.
Yeah.
Like that's how it's happened in the past with, like, you know, HP batteries, remember, were like very notorious for the exploding the laptops in the 2000s, and then the 2010s we had a couple laptops that were doing that, and it was happening to Apple MacBooks, we were all super pissed off. So we should have zero fires. No fires.
Give me fluffy pillows, not
question.
spicy pillows.
No, yeah,
exactly.
It's a defective battery. Like the software update isn't fixing it. It's basically trying to keep you from setting it on fire.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's still a defective device that is a risk. And they're just mitigating the risk, and they're taking a chance that within a certain bound it's not going to catch on fire.
No,
you know what I mean?
Google,
like,
Google's response could be like, well, actually we're doing pretty good because we rolled out this update. If we hadn't done the update, there'd be like 10 of these. So, you know, what it feels.
Just at some point, software. Speaking as a software engineer, believe me, software can only do so much. If it's a bad battery, it's a bad battery.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh, it's just the saga that never ends. I swear.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and like, I'm a huge Pixel fan. I really hope that suddenly this doesn't start creeping into more and more and more phones, because I don't know. Should I be Pixel kind of like nervous about the Pixel line at this point?
I mean, let's hope the 8A and the 9A are safe.
Totally.
Yeah,
I mean, at what point do we start going, all right, Google, like, you know?
I mean, if any more if any more A series phones start having these problems, I think the A series reputation is going to be tainted.
Yeah.
Did we do the math on how many?
Surprised that it isn't already, to be honest.
I mean, I think it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did we do the math on how many years 400 charge? Well, I thought we did the math earlier a couple weeks ago about how many years 400 charges would be. It's not that much, and it's not 7 years.
No, definitely not 7 years.
So anyway,
I mean,
by the way, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
I just wanted to say real quick that this story was submitted by Jared. So thank you also,
Jared,
for the patron submit. It was a patron submission, correct? Yeah, patron submission.
Don't know. Think so? Don't know. It just says submitted by Jared.
Okay,
Only
Jared.
Ron knows the answer to that question. Well, Ron and Jared, they both know the answer to that question.
Jared, if you're a patron, thank you very much for submitting.
And if not, thank you anyways. And
yes,
become a patron.
either way.
Speaking
But
of
give us
patrons,
some money.
Speaking of patrons, give us some money. Patreon.com/Android Faithful. We like to take this moment to thank you for supporting us each and every week /month/year, because now you can sign up for like a year thing, I think, through Patreon. Anyways, we do this in a number of ways. You all get the chance to vote for stories that we actually cover in the show, so thank you for that. B, you get to vote for your pick of 3 stories that we put up for a vote, and patrons pick. And C, anyone can submit bug droid pictures. And so we're going to start with the anyone part first. And we're going to show this submitted by Javier from Louisville, Kentucky. And it is a gaming den. Looks like a comfortable gaming den. I got to say, if I had a gaming den that looked like that, I might be more inclined to sit in my beanbag and play a fighting game on my TV. Maybe this is the game everybody lovingly refers to as War.
Now, there's the AI garble text I'm used to.
Yeah, there we go. There's the text that you can't possibly read. Maybe an alien life form could read that, but I certainly can't. And a very big, like, scary skeleton glowy thing in the corner.
What is that? Is that a water cooler?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. It's like a scary
giant
water
PS5.
cooler. Oh, the biggest PS5 ever. Yeah, that could be it.
It
Dude, it is a PS5.
It is a PS5.
with a
It's,
skull on it.
oh,
that's
man.
a lot.
That's
The
a PS5
graphics on that
contains
machine are so good.
consciousness. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Thank you for submitting that, Javier. Appreciate it. And then, of course, patrons, you voted for the stories that we would talk about. You definitely didn't want us to talk about I Fooled Samsung's new antioxidant feature with a Cheez-It. That only got 11% of the votes. Following right behind on that with 39% of the votes. So, you know, had a good showing. Stop the puck madness. We need a universal smartwatch charger, 39%. And then we have the story that we will choose to talk about because you're making us. And that is Android's own live voicemail is almost ready. This is similar apparently to Apple's live voicemail, which honestly, I don't really know very much about, but it's going to roll out to Pixel devices, maybe starting on Pixel devices, maybe eventually it'll open up, I don't know. But a new call message feature. So when users miss or decline a call, then the call message will answer. So this is, if you happen to have your phone off, then I guess it would opt for the carrier voicemail. I don't know. It's kind of confusing to me. I guess if you're there and your phone is on, I don't know how this would work, but it will do like a visual like voicemail live while it's happening and it transcribes for the user. And then I, as a user, could pick up at any point and be like, oh yeah, that's my mom, and pick up, or let it go. I don't know. Let it finish, or I don't know how it works exactly.
I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know if this is how it will actually work, but you know, normally when you actually end a phone call, you place a call and you don't pick up, right? Like the call actually terminates, and then your carrier like a separate call come in and say like, oh, if you want to leave a voicemail, right? It's like an actual separate thing done by the carrier. What maybe will happen here is like Android will, I guess, pretend that the phone call has ended, but then like it'll use the AI robot voice and tell you, do you want to leave a voicemail? And then you have the option to leave a voicemail that Google's AI will then transcribe automatically. Maybe that's how it'll work.
And it transcribes that live while you're watching even.
Yeah, transcribe and summarize and whatever else it wants to do.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing. It's kind of like it's like a multi-layered voicemail approach. It's in one condition, it's happening on your device, and actually on your device. It's not, this is not happening in the cloud or anything like that. So it uses on-device processing, no need for the internet. But then in another condition, it actually goes to your carrier's voicemail. So I don't know. That's what confuses me about this. Is like, wait a minute, where's my voicemail?
I think it's a clever way to bypass the carrier voicemail, because you could have a pixel on any number of carriers, and some carriers might not have robust visual voicemail capabilities, right?
Yeah.
So this will basically just substitute that and allow you to have this much more powerful version of it on almost any carrier. I guess if I'm just guessing, that's how it might work.
Yeah.
Or that's how I'm hoping it'll work.
We will apparently find out. Yeah, and I wasn't aware that Apple has a similar feature to this, so we'd probably know the answer if we used Apple.
Sounds like you need an iPhone, Jason.
Sounds like
Where
I
have
need
you
to
been?
spend another week on an iPhone. I need to trade with an iPhone user.
Do you need to borrow an iPhone, Jason? We need to get you on an
No.
iPhone.
I even had an iPhone when we switched when we did a carrier switch or a plan switch or whatever. They ended up offering me an iPhone 13 or 14 for $50. And I'm like, oh yeah, that'll come in handy. I never used it. I never used it once. So yeah, I'm lazy when it comes to iPhone, apparently, in my job. But thank you very much for placing your votes. Big thank you to Michael O'Hara, another amazing patron. We don't have an old tablet to give to you. I'm sorry, but our thanks are probably valuable enough. So
Michael, I do owe him something, actually, because Michael's in my Discord and I owe him something. So
okay, well then, I hope you deliver on that.
I just want to let him know it's on my mind.
Is this a photo, Michael O'Hara? Is he a photographer? I feel like I should know who this is, but anyways, I feel like I do know who this is, but I'm having a hard time placing. Anyways, Michael, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Okay, we're going to take a break and get ready, get ourselves pumped and ready for a Z Fold 7 review coming up after this break. Don't go anywhere. Hey, you didn't go anywhere. Thank you. Okay, let's talk about the Z Fold 7.
Let's
I think
unpack the Z Fold 7.
Oh my goodness.
Unfold
the Z Fold Fold 7. I only have the flip, so I can only pretend. I'm pretending.
You can still unfold
beautiful
it. You can still unflip it.
It's kind of, sort of the same thing. How are we doing this? Because it seems like everybody has one.
No, y'all wrote the reviews. I
everybody
can talk
has
about it,
one.
but y'all actually sat down and wrote and
Same.
put it into serviceable things, something you actually want to listen to and read.
Synthesized. I mean, mine was based on a single weekend. So mine was not a review. I fully admit it was more just this is what I thought after a weekend. My wonderful
I wrote
weekend.
a whole script.
My magical weekend with the Z Fold 7 while Flo was camping. But yeah, you took it places, Flo. Tell us about it.
So I gave it to you that weekend that I first got it from, the weekend that I had just come back from New York, and I gave it to you because I was like, there's no point that I should take this with me to Russian River. That's a bad idea. I haven't even taken pictures of it yet. And so I said, let me see if Jason wants it and drop it off with him. So at least it's being used, because I didn't just want it to sit dormant. And then I ended up getting it back from you and taking it to Warped Tour. And it turns out that Warped Tour scratched the inside screen.
Oh my goodness.
Let me try this. We're going to try this new little camera situation going on for those who are watching the video stream. So let me turn off the screen because you'll actually, I think, be able to see it better.
We had seen it in pre-show. It's kind of hard to see the scratch, but it was not pretty wherever it was.
I might have buffed it out a bit.
Hey, it wasn't a scratch. It was a hair.
Maybe it wasn't a scratch.
Woo!
Oh.
Well, that would be amazing.
Wait.
I don't trust that it wasn't a scratch. It looked pretty nasty.
It did.
But what can I say?
It did. Yeah, so here's the Z Fold. I'm gonna put it this way. It's not, this is not very how should I say, aesthetically pleasing on our cameras.
Well, it's just very fingerprinty. Phones are fingerprinty.
That's the
It's just the way
problem.
it
It's
is.
very fingerprinty. It's very
Yeah.
fingerprinty. I'm gonna actually bring it back to me for a second. So do you guys mind if I just launch into my
Go.
Z
Do
Fold
it.
spiel? All right.
Do it.
So
Make
yeah,
it.
I did. I took the Z Fold 7 to Warped Tour this last weekend. Because I'm 16 still. And but before I get into the kind of the recap of it, I told you already that it was kind of a dubious situation. I was in a very dusty, sandy place, so I was very worried about having the phone with me out there. But let's talk a little bit about it just as a phone. And then we'll kind of get to what my time was like with it. Jason, feel free to jump in with any B-roll that you might have.
Yeah, I've got
And
my
I'll let
video,
you
but it's a
know.
lot of me blabbering, so
Oh,
it
okay.
might look weird. But I'll play it. Whatever. Yeah. That's
Okay.
what we got.
Well, let me take it from here real quick, and then I'll
Okay.
because I want to actually show you guys how thin this thing is. So first, Galaxy Z Fold 7, it went on sale last week. It's officially available for about $2,000 starting price. It is better than the past few foldable generations in several ways, almost enough to justify that higher price. But the most important thing to know is that hinge mechanism has gotten a lot sturdier and robust, which I think, weren't you complaining that it was a very, I felt like the phone needed to be broken in?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
It wasn't just them, actually.
I
There's a
felt
bunch of
it.
people have been complaining about that. I don't mind it, but
Yeah,
apparently, it's different enough. People have noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I definitely noticed. I had a few times where I was trying to open it, and my finger, it's just so thin.
Jason broke it in
and-
for me. That's
Yeah.
really why I dropped it off at his house.
It did get better though.
Smart.
It did get better. I was using my thumbnail to wedge it open, but it's actually gotten better now. I think it's
It has gotten a
breaking
lot
in.
better. I actually did use, I put this case on it. I bought this case off Amazon because I didn't want to go, raw dog it at, I don't know if I can use that word on
I think it's fine.
the show.
You
actually.
already did.
Yes,
use
you
it.
did. I
I
love
did.
it.
It's a little late
no,
for that
no
now.
edits. I love it.
I didn't
We don't edit.
want to do that at Warped Tour. So I had this little, also it has fake fake MagSafe. So I was using a pop socket with it, which made it really comfortable. Let me show you how thin this thing is real quick. So let's switch over to this setup that I have. Look how thin this thing is.
Yeah.
There's the USB-C port. Samsung made a big deal. Remember, Michelle, they were making a big deal about this in New York about oh, well, it's just as thin as the USB-C port. And it definitely is. Very thin device. If you flip it over, though, look how much that camera sticks out. That 200 megapixel camera that you all wanted, that unfortunately does not do the zoom of a Pixel 9 Pro, which I will talk about in just a bit. But for now, let's just look at the thinness and the thickness of this phone. This is a very thin phone. It is not balanced when you put it on the bottom, as you could see.
Nah, it's got that lopsided camera
Whoop.
thing that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
In a perfect world, it would be, but yeah, it's so common
Yes.
that they do
In a
that.
perfect world, which we are not in. But it is perfect enough to say that it is leading the way in thinness. So 8.9 millimeter thickness when folded up, but nearly 4 millimeters thinner than the Z Fold 6. So that's last year's. Or 11% thinner if you want to look at it that way. Unfolded, it's 4.2 millimeters, which is wild. And so it currently holds the record for one of the thinnest book style foldables on the market. Now, it does make it a little weird when you plug it in, though. I wonder if I have a USB-C. I don't have a USB. Good job preparing, Flo. Actually, let me fake this. Here, I'll fake it with this one over here. So back to the over the camera shot. I gotta tell you, when the phone is like this with USB in it, I just feel like I'm going to bend the USB cable just picking it up. It does feel weird when I'm using the Fold and you just have this thing sticking out of it and you're trying to charge it. There's definitely an adjustment to lifestyle if you choose this phone. over a regular one. So
not
that's
as much
still
of an
there.
adjustment of lifestyle versus the previous ones. I mean, that was one of the things that really stood
Perfect
out for me.
segue. Perfect segue. So the Z Fold 7 is wider this time around, which makes it an easier like phone. The inside main inner display, it's 8 inches, which 120 hertz refresh rate, which is great. I will tell you though, oh my God, is the font small, especially when you are outside in the sun. So you'll want to increase.
Look at the tiny little font.
Yeah, the font is really small on this compared to like what I'm used to seeing on my Pixel 9 Pro. The front cover is 6.5 inches, which makes it a little thicker to hold. Let me show you what that's like over here with this top down effect. It is, my camera's upside down, which is why this is not working the way I wanted it to. But I do like that this is a wider situation. It's much easier to use two-handed than it was last season. It also it's just easier to hold this way. When it was narrower, it felt very awkward holding it like this, like doing the thumb typing.
Yeah.
I also love, I gotta say, it felt like a really big flex to just be like at one point I had whipped out the Fold and I was using it, right? It was in his 8-inch tablet mode. And somebody says to me, they go, oh my God, I didn't realize you had a tablet on you. I was like, I don't have a tablet on me. I have the Z Fold on me.
Nice.
That's why it folded out to something much bigger, which was really nice. The device powered by Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy processor, a lot of boosts for the CPU, GPU, and NPU performance. I am still testing a bit of that, and we'll talk more about that in the written review for Android Faithful, so stay tuned for that. But at this point in the life cycle, performance has been a thing that we've been kind of the least concerned about with this caliber of devices, especially at this price point. I know that there's a little bit of controversy. There's only 12 gigs of RAM in this compared to the 16 gigs that you're getting in the S25 Ultra or the Pixel 9 Pro and Pro XL. But I haven't, in the brief time that I've been with it, has not been slowing down or anything like that. It's going to be enough for you at the 256, 512 gigabyte storage option to do Gemini, to do gaming, to do the multi-window drag and drop type stuff. Like, you're going to be able to do that still pretty seamlessly. So don't worry about that with slight less bit of RAM. Before we talk about the camera, I want to get into a quick spiel about why I didn't take as many pictures as I wanted at Warped Tour. I still need to do my version of studio testing here for the written review, but having a foldable at a music festival it was very cumbersome. So I will go through these pictures in just a second, but I will say, even with the case on and the pop socket to help me hold on to it, I wrote here, I felt like such a doof taking out this pint-sized tablet to try to take a picture of the bands. I felt like an auntie taking out her iPad to snap pictures to show people later. That's what it feels like. Because naturally, the sun was out. It was very bright. I had a very hard time seeing the AMOLED screen, even though this thing does go to a very big brightness. I know Samsung's going to be like, don't forget to mention, because they want you to know that they thought about this situation. But I'm going to still tell you that even with that, it was much more comfortable opening the phone to take the picture of the bands. But now we can go back to the photo album, Jason, and I can kind of walk you through what we're looking at here. So the first photo, what I would like you to do, Jason, if you don't mind, is I want to show the detail that this 200 megapixel camera can take. So I want you to zoom into my skin, and I want you to see the dirt in my pores. Get in there, Jason. You can go further. It's there.
I see it.
There's the dirt.
There's the dirt.
It was so dirty. Okay, that's what was going on. And that's the benefit of having this 200 megapixel sensor.
So you get
on
to
a
see the
phone
dirt.
Like this.
You get all the dirt.
You really are getting like these very high quality, high resolution, like you can zoom in all the way photos. But here's where it starts to become an issue. Okay. So
damn, that was hot.
It was very hot, Jason.
Sunny. Yeah.
That's why, by the way, I'm wearing the bucket hat, because I burned myself real bad. But go back to the last photo, please, if you don't mind, because I want to point something out here. So it was so dusty that was very hard to clean the lens on the 200 megapixel camera. So this is the photo at 1x. And I did not like this angle at 1x. I thought this was a very poor angle to shoot from in the first place. And so I was like, okay, I don't like this. It's very dusty. And then the next photo is actually this. I took this picture with the Pixel 9 Pro because I wanted to show you how silly it was me holding this thing up. Again, it is a tablet when you open it. And so I felt like an auntie opening up her tablet and taking her pictures of the cute young boys singing on stage. Like, that's literally
Holding
what
up
I
that
felt
massive
like.
iPad Pro or something that you see
Yes.
sometimes.
But okay, so question.
Yes.
You don't need to open it to get those, to use those cameras, right?
No, but the sun was so bright and it made it so much easier for me to like navigate
To see
the
it.
screen and everything. And it just like, it felt more natural to open the phone and use it that way than to use it kind of holding it up this way. Because this way there's a bit of bulk when you're holding it.
Mm-hmm.
This way is a lot thinner. And so the way it kind of like glides, I'm being very honest here, the way it glides in the air when you're putting your hand up in the air to take the photo.
And your other hand is holding up devil horns. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but look
I
at
hear
this.
you.
So I imagine I had the pop socket on here, which I was holding on to with dear life. And so that's how I was taking photos and I could see it so much better. Like, of course, I'm going to take photos like that. And of course, it feels better on my hand. Also, don't forget, I had nerve pain last week in this hand, which is my dominant hand. So anything that reduces weight on it, it was very interesting to feel like the subtle difference in this versus opening it up. It's just the distribution of the weight in the chassis. It was very interesting.
Okay.
It's just my observation.
Okay.
If you'd like to go back to the photo album, please, I would like to get us through this segment.
Let's see here. There we go.
So next photo, if you don't mind, is I just took like a quick little selfie. So the selfie camera has improved on this. They upped the megapixels a bit. So that's good.
That looks good.
Yeah, it was
Maybe
was
a
fine.
little grainy when you zoom in, but I mean, still a lot of clarity. Yeah. Yeah, pretty good.
It looks like a Sam. If you guys look at the blues, the blue of the sky, that's the Samsung blue. I've noticed it the past 10 years. It's a very distinct, and actually go to the next photo. You'll see it pop up even more. There's that blue. There's that blue sky. That's a very Samsung. Yeah, it's a very Samsung algorithmic thing.
Yeah.
But very clear colors. Okay, so now let me show you what I want to show you with this. My biggest disappointment. So I understand that this is a $2,000 phone, and I understand that we put a 200 megapixel camera in it, which is great. I'm so glad Samsung did that. But here's the other thing. I need optical zoom past 3x. If I'm going to spend this much money on something like this, I want it to do every single thing. Okay, so let's go to that picture that I put in there, Jason, of the band on stage. Okay, so I was watching the band Seosin. For those who are familiar. And this is the photo that I took zooming in with the Z Fold 7. Okay. Very dusty. It's picking up all the aura artifacts of like the dusty area. The band isn't clear. Like this was at 2x. Okay. So was not, excuse me, this was around 3x actually. So it was past the optical point that the Z Fold 7 promises it can do. Okay. And the next picture is just showing you just the same thing that was, you know. Now, the last two pictures I put in that album were taken with the 9 Pro at around 3x. Okay. Ooh. Now, if you zoom in, not only do you notice that the atmosphere has been taken out, but the band is much clearer.
Weird.
Much sharper to see.
I mean, night and day, almost literally.
But it's because the 9 Pro knows to switch to those lenses on the back because it has the actual glass that can do that and that can go in and grab that information for me. And like, I'm not trying to nitpick because 200 megapixels is great. And probably for most people, it's going to be fine who want to get this phone for productivity. But me, if I'm spending $2,000 on a phone, and I'm spending $500 on VIP tickets for a weekend at the Warped Tour. Don't laugh, Jason. You know you feel the same way I do. You know you feel the same way I do, okay?
Hey, mad props. $500
Yes.
is no joke for a concert.
By the way, I didn't spend that much because my friends were super generous in solving the ticket last minute, which is why I ended up going, in case anybody is curious. I just want to let you know how I was able to afford it. But yeah, so overall, the Zoom I was not impressed by, which made me not really want to use it. But I will tell you where I used the Z Fold a lot during the festival. I was really tired on the second day. Like 2 days of festival is really hard on an almost 40-year-old body. And I ended up parking myself in a really shady spot in the VIP right behind what was one of the main stages. I was just listening to Dance Hall Crashers and just playing on the Z Fold 7. I was like checking in on Discord, catching up with friends because only the VIP area had Wi-Fi. And, you know, I was like, I have an hour to kill before the next band I want to see. I do not want to stand. I don't want to walk anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I want to just conserve energy. So it was nice to be able to bust out the tablet and just, I was just on Discord. Like, look, friends, here's what I wore the last 2 days. You know, I was just going in and reading. I was actually reading the Warped Tour subreddit a lot because, you know, it was very active. Everybody was posting there about stuff happening in Long Beach. And so I was going in and constantly checking it. And it's so nice to have that 8-inch screen to be able to do that. Because, you know, trying to find that information on the 9 Pro, you do feel the difference. You feel the difference between a candy bar phone and between a tablet side screen. So also what was really nice was the band list. So what happens is they put the bands on all this big inflatable thing and everybody rushes to go take a picture of it. One thing that happened, which was really funny, is that, first of all, some girl negged me because she tried to airdrop me the band list that she took. And I was like, sorry, I have an Android. And she was like, oh, I'm really sorry for you. To which I said, actually, it's been a beautiful relationship the last 15 years. Thank you. That's how I responded, just so you guys know. She was like, whatever, girl. She was like, what? This was like a Gen Zer. She's like, whatever, old lady, with your Android. But then my friends who were there did have Android, so they were able to quick share with me the band list. And it was really nice because I had them on both my phones. And so when I was checking with friends, you know, I would whip out the Z Fold 7 and I would open it up and like we could all look at it together. Nobody had to crouch and huddle around a little tiny 6-inch screen. Like we were on the 8-inch screen looking at when these bands were playing. And I was like, oh, this is nice. I was also that nerd in the crowd who was like taking notes on every band. It was like opening the fold. You're like, I really like the way this band sounds. I should check them out when I get home. Cause I had all the bands in a Google Keep and I was going and making little notes about every band that I was seeing in there. And I definitely felt like a dork, but like a really committed dork.
I mean, we're
you know,
we're all dorks, and we're
yes. I
now,
was
right?
a really committed dork at Warped Tour, like taking my notes.
It's okay.
Like, this is what I have this for here. So I'll also say battery life wasn't that bad. It fared better than the Pixel 9 Pro, but to be fair, okay, so there's no service at Warped Tour like there was. So the problem was that both phones, I had one phone on Verizon and one phone on T-Mobile, which was the Z Fold 7. Both phones were constantly pinging LTE or 5G, which, as you know, like really kills the battery. But the Z Fold wasn't so bad about it, and I think it's because of the T-Mobile network. Verizon uses UWB, ultra wideband, which is a hell of a sucker, even though it is supposed to be faster. But the Z Fold 7 did pretty well. Like I actually ended up not charging it the first night, and I still had about 60% battery life after standby the next day. And then I got down to about 30% when I got home from Warped Tour. I was, you know, it's not bad so far. We still have to do the full rundown test though to like really see it. But so far, I mean, I don't have like anything seriously bad to say about this phone because it's an impressive device. It really needs to have Zoom. That's my feeling.
Got to leave something for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say my only complaints about the device, these are just nitpicking, are that the corners are too sharp. I wish it had rounded edges. And number two, I wish, you know, if it were possible, if they had made the camera bar, you know, horizontal instead of vertical. I know it's part of their identity, But the problem is the way it is right now. This thing wobbles like crazy.
Yeah,
So
If
annoying.
you
a lot of
have it
table
folded
wobble.
and you use it on a table. Yeah, like those are my only two real complaints with the device. Like, yeah, I wish it would have a bigger battery, of course, but I haven't really had many problems with the battery. I wish the camera was slightly better, but I don't really mind that when the device is so good otherwise, with the folding display and everything, how light and thin it is. Like I said, those are my two real complaints with the device. I just wish it had more curved corners so it'd be more comfortable to hold, and I wish it would wobble less on a table.
Hence
Yeah.
my pop socket use, by the way, Michelle. It's really helped with the comfort of holding it, I will say. And also, when you flip it on the side, it does like the little angles. So that's how I've been watching TV on it in bed.
I mean, I think the kind of unanimous opinion of people who have been reviewing this device has been incredibly positive. Seems like people are like, because I mean, my experience with it was not nearly as detailed, as long and everything as yours, Flo. But I mean, the one big takeaway that I got from my weekend with it is, wow, this no longer feels like foldables kind of often had that like brick-like quality. Like if I had it in my pocket, I knew that was a fold in my pocket. It was heavier, it was bigger, kind of chunkier, took up more space, just felt different than a standard, like candy bar phone. And now that's thin enough that when it's folded, it doesn't feel that way anymore. And it operates largely like a normal smartphone on the front. And so I think the major kind of critical things they've tackled, and I think people have been pretty positive.
I
about
want you
that.
to borrow it for a show.
Be a different
Jason.
story if I borrowed it for a show.
No, I'm serious. We're gonna make this happen. I'm going to find.
Well, I gotta
some way.
go to a show then.
Swap
You gotta
phones.
go to a show.
You can give Flo the flip, and you can take the fold.
Yeah,
we can switch.
yeah.
And I bet you I would like the flip more at a
Yeah.
concert because it's
I mean, I think I probably do just in general like the flip more than I like the fold. Just like I don't know that I necessarily need the
But
fold.
I like the fold because I like the size of the screen inside. It's so much better than anything else.
Yeah. Well, and now that
Because I'm an
now that the
auntie.
entire package is thinner, you're not making the trade. I guess that's my point. Is now that everything's thinner, you're not making the trade off of big chunky phone. It really is kind of like a normal phone when it's all folded, and then you also get the benefit of it unfolding into.
And it didn't fall out of my pocket, by the way. I was
good.
I just had jean shorts on, and I had the Pixel 9 Pro in one pocket and this Z Fold 7 in the other, and I'm sure it looked silly walking around, but that's me.
Yeah, no one was judging. Everybody was rocking. That's all.
Except that one Gen Z girl who gave you the side.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
there's
gosh,
that
she
one.
necked me so hard on the airdrop. Because everybody was like, "Who wants
Jeez.
an airdrop? Who wants an airdrop?" And I'm like, I have Android. Who wants a quick share? Nobody offered.
All right, so thumbs up. Like final
course.
kind of thought. Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Just get the zoom on there, Samsung.
Yeah. Well, you got to save something for next year. Next year, they're going to get rid of the crease entirely. They're going to upgrade the battery to silicon carbon. No, they
5,000
probably
milliamp
aren't.
or whatever. Yeah.
Who knows? But
We'll talk about Samsung's plans for next year in a bit.
Yeah, actually, what a great little
Teaser.
Yes,
I will
indeed.
say, by the way, if anyone thinks about getting it and wants to get the Samsung case, be aware that you only get half a case when you buy the case for them this year.
Yep. It
Yep,
took me a while to find a case for my dad because he wanted a
it's
case
just the
that covers
back.
both halves.
Yeah.
A lot of cases are only covering the back half now.
I'm going with it though, and I actually got two of them, so I could put a pop socket on one and then have the handle on the other. And I'm trying to figure out which one I like more, so I'll let you know.
Interesting stuff. All right, we got a lot more to talk about. Thank you for your review, Flo. Excellent stuff. That's gonna be hitting the site later this week, you said?
later
right?
this week. Yeah, I still got to put for everybody who would like to know, I'm currently working on the review process for Android Faithful. It is a work in progress, okay? Because we have an editorial staff of one. So thank you for your patience and understanding.
You're consulting with yourself on the review process.
All right, let's rattle on through some of this other stuff. We got in
a lot.
other news, Wireless Power Consortium launching the Qi 2 25-watt standard. So, we've had Qi 2 at 15 watts. So now it's getting an upgrade to 25 watts, which is, pretty big boost. Not only that, why are we talking about this on an Android show? Because apparently it now includes Android phones for the first time, finally. So we don't have any specific models yet, although I have a feeling we might be talking about a specific model here in a second. But the Wireless Power Consortium didn't announce any specific models, but we know of some. Should we talk about it?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. All right.
Finally.
Win. It's over to you, Win.
Sorry, I missed that segue completely. Am I on the right mic now too?
Yeah, you are.
So sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're solid.
All right. Well, guess what? A whole bunch of leaks. I mean, not surprisingly, a whole bunch more leaks for the Pixel 10 series dropped. And I don't know. I don't want to bear the lead on this. We've talked to death about the moderate upgrades or downgrades in size and battery life. Well, guess what, guys? EvLeaks on Twitter today, or sorry, not Twitter, on X, posted some leaks that show Qi 2 support, not ready support, as in the magnet is in the dang phone in the Pixel 10. And there it is. If you're on the video stream, you can see it. It's a Qi 2 puck right on. Oh my god.
Hallelujah! 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 Okay.
Naked
I mean,
Pixel phone.
Just dang, y'all.
Finally, all of the
Finally.
MagSafe accessories that I bought for all the knockoff MagSafe cases that I bought will finally be used, not knockoff-ish.
It's no, it deserves it. I was trying to explain to my husband how momentous this was. And I couldn't get him to say Qi 2 instead of
There's
QI2.
a whole
But
line of accessories we haven't been
Yeah.
able to use because of this weird thing.
it's kind of, it feels like almost low key that it's finally happening now, but it's happening, y'all. And it's the Pixel 10. It's so weird because I don't know about y'all, but I've been like, yeah, it's okay. Okay, it's like basically the same, right? They look the same. Form factor's about the same. Yeah, the processor a little bit. Everything's always a little bit better, but yeah, it's kind of huge, y'all. Qi 2 charging, and also, which one was it with the 100x zoom? Am I reading that right? Is that on the Pixel
like
10
Pro.
Pro? It's claiming a ProRes zoom up to 100x on
Okay. Well, yeah, that's what
camera on the
Samsung.
Back.
That's what Samsung does on their Ultra, right? So
All
All
Yeah.
right. So
I think the current Pixels have up to 30x zoom. They call it
Yes.
Super Res Zoom.
yeah,
Now it looks like they're rebranding it to ProRes
ProRes zoom.
No,
Now
I was
doing
thinking Super
up to
Duper
100x.
would have been
Super
cool.
duper would have been awesome.
Super duper res zoom.
Yeah, and also for all three of these, so like the specs have been out there, but generally everything is a little bit just a little bit different and a little bit heavier, probably because of better battery life. And by the way, like Evan Blast also has some like kind of purported battery life. These battery lifetimes, by the way, are an extreme battery saver, but he's saying that for the Pixel, the Fold will have a 72-hour battery life. The Baseline Pro will have a 100 battery life. Wait, and both like the Pixel 10 Pro and Baseline will have a 100 battery life with extreme battery saver mode. So I can't.
Yeah, but
I think
extreme
current
batteries.
Pixels, extreme battery saver just like disables everything. Though.
Yeah.
It does.
And that kind of feels
Use
like
those
yeah.
as
doesn't
like-
work with location services. Like if somebody
Yeah.
is tracking you, it kills that.
Yeah,
It
it's like,
kills
yes, technically it
notifications.
does that,
Technically, yes,
but
Yeah, I wouldn't
Not
really
in any
count
sort
that
of
as like the
normal
actual
operation
battery
mode.
life.
No, it's actually my poor Pixel 9 Pro Fold has been lasting quite a long time since I've actually not using it. But yeah, I think honestly just the Qi 2 charging, we've been waiting for it. It's here, and it's the Pixel 10. So even if you weren't really impressed by the spec bumps this year, I think they're gonna steal the show for me, honestly, from the Z Fold 7 and this current generation, which my attention was very grasped, but now I'm switching back over. And just a few more things. I think Android Headlines as well also had some exclusives, both official renders as well as specifications. The Pixel 10 Pro Fold, actually, this is like the year of like the awesome blue and the sexy light green, because the Pixel 10 Pro Fold will come in two colors. Jade and Moonstone. Jade being kind of a soft pistachio green with a gold frame, which I have my eye on, and Moonstone being a kind of slate blue with a slightly lighter frame. And yeah, like again, like It is a spec bump, but everything's just a little bit better. It's 6.4 inches cover display versus 6.3 inches. It does have a Tensor G5. It is the battery is 8% larger, so that's good. The wire charging is also faster at 23 watts, 15 watts with Qi 2 support. So actually that's the big bump. And then, just everything's like slightly bigger, slightly better. So that's your Pixel 10 Pro Fold. And I wish they would change the name. Please change the name one day because that's such a mouthful to say. And then similarly for the Pixel 10, where are my notes in the Pixel 10 like spec vomit that we usually do? But kind of similar idea. The big story here for me and maybe for other people is the Qi 2 charging. Everything else is again slightly better. Of course, like the Pixel 10 will also have the three camera this year. And I mean, really, like, it's so funny because we talked about, was it last week we talked about the John Prosser thing with the leaks and about how, unfortunately, he's getting sued by Apple because of leaks. Well, as we kind of talked about last week, Google's just leaking themselves. Does that sound rude?
You get a leak.
Everyone's getting a leak. Like, so they even have posted an image of the Google 10 series in the Google Play Store. Even if you weren't paying attention to all these like kind of more deep specky leaks, you can see the Pixel 10 series in the Play Store. And because they have a little bit of an advertisement for like, is it pre-order deals or something? But yeah, like you can see them already.
Teaser, is that what
the
you're
official
talking
teaser?
about?
Yeah,
Okay.
the official teaser. Yeah, so
That one.
Google just leaking themselves, and so that sounds rude.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This one was different from that though, right? Was this one like
that
they
was the
had
Play
some
Store.
some
Yeah.
It
sort
was
of
like an official render, but like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't officially shown. It was like
Mhm.
surfaced.
Oh,
The Surface.
okay.
Okay. This is a problem, like especially a lot of software companies. You try to get things ready for launches, so everything exists. And I know, like Michelle and like other folks, that's kind of like what helps is like people start to put things in piecemeal, and then someone knows how to turn on the right switch, and there you go, it's leaked. But yeah,
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. So yeah, there is a beautiful blue this year in the Pixel 10 series. It really is like, it's like a same kind of vibe. It's like a very, I don't know, Flo, what would you call that blue? That's the cerulean? Is that cerulean? I don't know. It's
Show
It's
it to me again.
Samsung Sky Blue.
it does.
No,
a
don't
little
call
bit.
it. It's not. It's Google. It's a very deep blue.
It's a very deep blue. It's a very, very deep blue.
That's what I'd say.
Okay, but it's really pretty. But yes, we'll have more for you as we
Maybe.
come out.
It could not be pretty.
I don't know. It looks cute from here.
I don't know. It looks pretty.
I do
That's
wonder
pretty.
if it's making a callback to the first Pixel's blue. 'Cause
Yeah, it kind of
definitely
does. It
seems
kind
to
of
match
has that. Totally, that's what I was thinking too.
I
It
don't remember what
does
the first Pixel's like.
kind of have a pixel.
The first Pixel XL.
Mhm. Yeah,
I
let
think
me see if
Jason's
I
looking it up right now.
I know. I'm like
Uh-huh.
waiting because I can hear him
Click.
googling.
click a
I
click.
can hear you Googling.
I
Yeah.
can hear you googling.
I
oh,
sold that
I don't
phone to
remember
Bert.
it coming in that color.
That is.
I
That's a
remember that.
callback.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, how
I
beautiful!
love that
It's-
phone so much.
it's
I
really
sold it to
blue.
Burke.
I wish I still had my Pixel 1. I don't have it anymore.
I wish Burke still had my Pixel 1.
Yeah, this would have been a notable phone for me to hold on to. I don't always hold on to
Aw.
every
We
phone.
could have
but
given it away.
I wouldn't
Okay,
have
well-
given away this one.
No, I would have kept it too, especially in quote really blue. Like the color's called
Yeah.
really blue. I miss it when
Yeah.
they had these fanciful names. Although limoncello is not bad as a color. Okay, so that's the Pixel 10 series, and there are some more bombshell-ish drops or like interesting things about the Pixel Watch 4. We do have official renders. Android Headlines does have the exclusive unofficial renders of the Pixel Watch 4. And so the big news with the Pixel Watch 4 is that, and this is going to be relevant later for after hours, is that the Pixel Watch 4 will have a different charger. So unfortunately, if you've been holding on to your Pixel 2 and Pixel Watch 2 and Pixel Watch 3 chargers and buying third-party accessories, you're going to be a little disappointed. So the next generation, the Pixel Watch 4, will actually have a side charge, like will charge on the side. So gone are the pegs on the back, and you'll actually be resting it on its side into like a new kind of puck cradle thing to charge it. This is for repairability. So one great thing about the Pixel Watch 4 is it is repairable. It is like the first repairable Pixel Watch, but part of making it repairable, as I understand it, is this new charging mode. It does look, I mean,
It kind of has like alarm, perched up alarm clock quality to
really
it.
tiny
does.
bedside alarm.
Yeah,
really
totally.
tiny. Hopefully it's, I don't even know. Like I can barely get the flat puck to stay on the desk on my nightstand. So we'll see how this with the watch actually kind of basically sitting up in the cradle works. But there you go. And it is part of it making it easier to repair. I am very upset because, of course, last year was when I decided to invest in third-party ecosystem or accessory ecosystem, and now they've changed it on me. But that's the way it goes. If this is repairable, if this does, and actually the battery's better. The battery life should be, the battery is bigger. The phone's a little bigger, so the battery life should be better. That was a lot of B sounds. So a little bit of trade-off with, unfortunately, not having your previous chargers be compatible, but it is keeping the same proprietary fasteners for the bands. They do have new bands in a lot of assorted new colors and different materials, but at least the bands are compatible. And I think something I've noticed that the active band is using a different material, which there was kind of a kerfuffle last year about a lot of smartwatch bands having PFAS, including, and I forgot the word, fluoroelastomers. I might be getting that wrong.
As like an irritant sort of thing?
No, because that's PFAS. It has like the forever chemicals in them. So that'd be kind of a big deal that like, I think even like the Apple Watch and some bands, I think even the Galaxy Watch Ultra band had some PFAS in them. So that might be part of why the material is changing, but it also is softer and more comfortable. But you won't have to get a new band, or you can still reuse your old band from this last generation. That's not a Pixel Watch. But if I did have one, it would be on this wrist where it usually is. So there you go. Different charging, and to accommodate for the repairability, and your old bands will be compatible, but you're going to get a whole new set with new materials and new colors. So there you go. Pixel 10s and Pixel Watch.
Poof.
Leaked
again, and not for the last time either.
No, we're going to hear more up until the last minute, up until August 20th when they will be announced.
Just like we're hearing more about Samsung.
Yep. And just like I alluded to, we're going to be hearing about Samsung's plans for next year because allegedly Samsung is expected to shake up the Galaxy S lineup next year. So my colleagues at Android Authority discovered some evidence that instead of a base, plus, and ultra model like they have done for many, many generations, they might ditch the base model and the plus model, and instead they'll launch a Pro, Edge, and Ultra model. So you would have a Galaxy S26 Pro, Galaxy S26 Edge, and Galaxy S26 Ultra. Evidence for this was discovered in an internal One UI 8 beta build, so it's not like absolute confirmation that this is what they're going to be doing, but since this does come from like a Samsung source, basically, that is pretty strong evidence. But it would be a huge shakeup because, you wouldn't have a base model anymore. You would just have a Pro. The Plus model would also be going away. You would have an Edge because the Edge model would just be, basically you have the Galaxy S25 Edge, which is a super thin and light model. Maybe this S26 Edge will also just be super thin and light instead of like a plus size version of the base model like we have currently. And then Ultra will just be the Ultra model. We don't know exactly, just based on these names, how these devices will stack up. Maybe the Pro device is basically just a rebranded version of the base model. Maybe they're just calling it Pro, giving it ultra wideband finally. Maybe they're giving it a telephoto camera, and now like the base is just the Pro. And then the Edge is just going to be their new Plus model, slightly bigger screen, but much thinner and lighter. And then Ultra will be Ultra. We don't know if they're going to make any changes to that. Maybe they'll finally get rid of the S Pen. Who knows? We'll have to see. Like, just based on the names,
put that out there, Michelle.
Hey, I've been thinking it's long overdue, in my opinion. I felt like they've probably been working towards that. It's gonna happen sooner or later.
Yeah, I think it might. This reminds me of like when like fast food restaurants would only have medium, large, and extra large drinks. I was like, well, where's the small? Well, the smallest we have is the medium. They call it the medium, so that they're, it's not a small size. It's a medium is the lowest that they go. That's kind of the same thing here.
So like we won't find out this information for a couple of months because the next Unpacked is gonna probably be in late January or early February. So there's quite a while
before you know it. Believe me, we're gonna blink and it's gonna be here. Interesting. And the death of the S Pen. You heard it here first.
Yeah. Speaking, and another thing that's died is the classic DeX mode. So with One UI 8, the old DeX interface is gone. In its place, there's a new version of DeX, which is built on top of Google's desktop mode that they rolled out in Android 16. So this change has, it's been a long time coming because for many years, Samsung launched its original version of DeX with the Galaxy S8. Many years before Google had even envisioned a proper desktop mode for Android. So that's required Samsung to maintain a lot of difficult changes to the core Android framework to enable their own desktop interface to work. And they've had to carry forward these changes for many years because Google had not really implemented similar changes in the core Android OS. So that's required a lot of work from Samsung. But at the same time, Samsung has not really had any incentive to kind of do more with DeX than they already did. Like they want you to use your Samsung phone as a desktop kind of replacement, but not like a true desktop, because they don't really have any desire to do all the work to make Android a proper desktop OS, right? They don't really have incentive to do that because they sell Windows PCs, they sell phones, right? They don't sell the OS. They're not the makers of the OS. But Google, on the other hand, they do have an incentive to make Android a true desktop OS because, they have Chrome OS, they have Android. They don't want to spend all the effort developing two separate operating systems, combine all that effort into one team, and then push out Android as their end-all, be-all OS. So as part of those efforts, Google has been working on building up Android's desktop windowing capabilities, its connected display support, and that's kind of what we got with Pixel phones and Android 16 there. This is enhanced desktop mode. So because Google is now finally doing all this work, Samsung is kind of seeing this work, and they're like, okay, instead of going our own way, putting all this work in and constantly updating our own version of DeX, which requires a lot of effort to maintain, let's migrate and rebase DeX on top of Android's native desktop mode, which is what they've done in One UI 8. So the new DeX in One UI 8 is based on top of Android 16 DeX, and there's a lot of similarities between the two. Samsung did add a couple of proprietary enhancements, like you still have the ability to use it wirelessly, which you can't do on Pixels because Pixels don't support Miracast. You can use the S Pen to control things. You still have the touchpad. You can use your phone as a touchpad, which you can't do on Pixels currently. But as a result of this transition, you have also lost a couple of things that were on the previous version of Classic DeX. I do list them out in this article. There's a bunch of different differences between the Classic DeX in One UI 7 and the new DeX in One UI 8. But I think overall this change is good because it sets Samsung up better for the future. Now they don't have to do nearly as much work as they used to port DeX onto new Android versions. And because Google is investing heavily now into improving the desktop experience on Android devices, Samsung will basically automatically inherit a lot of those improvements just by updating the Android OS because, their DeX is now based on Android's desktop mode. So I think this is going to benefit both sides a lot because, by Samsung using the Android version of desktop mode, developers will kind of have a more consistent experience across devices. And also Samsung has to do less work at the same time, and they can just get a lot of the improvements that Google is going to be working on anyways.
Awesome. I need to spend more time with DeX, I realize. Especially now that things have changed.
Experience.
It's always
Experience.
Yes.
It's always the part of a Samsung review that I'm least interested in spending time with, which tells me I probably just need to suck it up and do it. I don't know why. I wonder why that is. It just never really captures my imagination, but I know it's important. Cool stuff. All right. Let's take a quick break. Then we're going to come back. I've got a quick app. It's like a hybrid app / hardware thing to show you. Some more app news, email, and then we will get out of here because we are going a little long. So hang tight. We'll be right back. Okay, let's see here. Let me make sure I have everything that I need. So I became aware of something. I think first time I heard of TUNESHINE, I think I heard of it on Instagram. I think I saw some sort of Instagram video about TUNESHINE, and I was like, wow, that looks really cool. And then I heard from the folks from TUNESHINE, and they offered to send me the hardware to check out. And I gotta say, it's really super cool. So I'll explain a little bit about what this is, and then I can kind of show it off. In fact, I do have right in front of me here on my desk TUNESHINE. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Is it playing Yellow Gold? What a great album, everyone. That's a really good album. Y'all should check it out. So what is TUNESHINE? TUNESHINE is a 6.3-inch square screen device. You can kind of see it's kind of got a wood surround at a wood base rather, kind of a plastic kind of fitting on top with 64 by 64 RGB LEDs in it. So 4096 LEDs. And it's you can see it in my hands. It's not gigantic. It's also not small. It's big enough to be kind of a cool little decoration in the room. They do have apparently an aluminum frame version that's in the works as a limited edition, but I have the wooden one here. It's about whatever. I can't remember what the dimensions of this square is, but essentially what you can see here is it shows album art. The whole idea of this is when you have it synced with one of your accounts, which I do have the app here. The app allows you to kind of check which music sources you want to put it here. I've synced it with my Spotify, but you can connect it to more music. They do have a service if you want to connect it to multiple services at once. It's 99 cents a month, $9.99 a year. That allows you to also do things like sharing a single device with friends and stuff, so that everybody's music can control instead of just one. But for me, I wouldn't need that necessarily. But it works with Spotify, works with Apple Music, Sonos, Last.fm, and then apparently there are plugins that allow it to extend its capabilities to services like Tidal, YouTube Music, which is probably the service that I use more than anything. But essentially, once you've given it kind of the sync to, in this case, Spotify, I can go into, we'll go into Tangled, because my kid often listens to my Spotify account when we're in the car. And so she hijacks my phone. This is what I'm saying. Actually, I listen to Tangled all the time. And it pulls up automatically the image of the album art that is playing on your account at any time. So you could have this parked in your living room next to your stereo, if you happen to have a stereo, or just parked in your living room or wherever as like a piece of art. And anytime you happen to be listening to something on a service that's synced to it, it automatically comes up. It's a little like, I noticed that through the camera, it makes it look kind of hard to see because I think it's really close.
Yeah.
If I could get more distance, remove the camera further away from this, it becomes a lot more clear. You see less of the pixelated quality and you see more of the actual image. When you're up close, you just see a lot of the like straight pixels and everything. But it is super cool. I absolutely love it.
Do you
like,
have
it's
any other
super
artists
simple.
to show us?
Well, let's see here. Okay, so this is My Bloody Valentine. Not that exciting. What is the artist that you listen to? Joost? What? Joost what? Joost
Klein.
Joost. Okay.
Joost. He's right there. Europapa. Joost. That's him. First thing.
Joost. Oh, okay. So it's just Joost. Okay. So let's find some fun artwork.
Just put on
here.
Europapa because Lord knows what you're gonna get.
I mean, I was gonna put on Europapa.
Oh, it's the Unity. It's the Unity album cover.
There you go.
Interesting.
No, yeah. Duh. There you go. Europapa. Joost Klein.
I do like this for like a living room, like entertainment setup. I feel like this would look really nice on the wall in like a mid-century style home, or even maybe a maximalist home that has a lot of, gadgets and toys all around. I feel like
totally.
I have a Divoom thing that is kind of like this, but it's not as pixelated, so it cannot produce this kind of album art.
Yeah, it's pretty neat though, and it's got a total kind of like retro quality to it. Is
interesting.
this the one that you were looking for, Flo?
Yeah, because the single was not on the album when it was originally released, because the album didn't exist yet, and so that's why it was curious to me that I was giving you the album that came out after the song.
It's just the one that appeared at the top.
So I'm curious about how like the metadata comes in and such.
Well, I mean, that was just Spotify, right? Like Spotify says Europapa has that. I don't know how Spotify chose that, but this is just going straight off of what Spotify feeds it. So whatever the album art is that's synced to this via Spotify, which if I go in there, it shows me that's what's going to appear here. So I don't know how Spotify does that, but
which streaming services was it again, Jason?
It is Spotify, Apple Music, Sonos, Last.fm. Those are the options.
Oh, good. It does Last.fm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Because Last.fm is very malleable. It works with a lot of different services. Yeah.
Totally. That's true. Great. That's true. Like I can't show you the list because in order for me to do that, I'd have to add another thing, and I don't want to remove Spotify, and then if I wanted to show it again, I couldn't. So anyways, quick little kind of throw out to this. It's $199.99. TUNESHINE.rocks is where you can get one if you're interested. I think one thing that I really appreciate about this is it's totally a independent deal. My understanding is the guy who makes these, and I wish I'd written down his name to give him proper credit, but he just kind of had an idea one day.
His name is Tobias Butler.
There we go, Tobias. But that's right, Tobias Butler. He saw these. My memory of the story is that he saw these panels and he was like, "Oh, wouldn't that be weird if like we just put that on the thing?" And he like did a test case and it looked kind of cool. It's kind of lo-fi looking, but also has a cool kind of quality to it. It's very colorful. It's actually more colorful in person than I'm showing on the camera right now. And like he hand installs them. He shares a lot on his Instagram how he's just like building these things and sending them to people. So I gotta, you gotta appreciate that, but pretty cool stuff. There's no speaker inside. It's just the visual quality of it. It also has actually in the app Shazam ID as a function. So, it taps into Shazam and Apple Music for music identification, and then that can feed into there based on the service that you're using. So there you go. I thought it was neat. Thought it deserved a few minutes on the show. This is TUNESHINE. And I think that's pretty cool. I honestly thought that I was going to show this off when Ron is on the show because I knew Ron would really, really appreciate this. But I'm happy you're here, Flo, so that we could get Yoast in the mix. That's important too. So
I mean, honestly, and I'm considering I really like these kind of things, it would just be Yoast all the time.
Yeah.
People will be like, is that an official Yoast merch? And I'd be like, no.
You could do that because you can set a default image that it opts for when nothing is playing. So we could put Android Faithful logo there, or we could put Yoast
right, the
there.
Android Faithful logo, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So anyways, and apparently right now it's showing Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Okay. Anyways. All right. There we go. TUNESHINE. Okay, what else do we have? Flo? Oh, this is cool.
What else do we have? Yeah, now you can transform your photos into videos and remix the pictures that you've got in Google Photos, which sounds intense, but it's not supposed to be. So basically the idea is you can turn static images into short videos, kind of like the ones that Google automatically makes for you with Google Photos. It'll be like, oh, check back to this day, except a little more enhanced because this purports to bring it to life, of course, with Gemini, because that's everything that Google's doing right now. So this new photo to video capability, it's powered by VO2, which we've been talking a lot about, and you can create short videos from photos you've already saved in your gallery, and selfies, group shots, whatever. Gemini will add a little flair to them. So let's say like if you do give it a selfie, the selfie could have the folks in the photo like have little subtle movements, not necessarily
confetti.
based on real life, But and this is the one that I've been seeing pop up a lot on social media, which is the one of the a past parent reanimated.
Yeah,
That's like the big.
I could see that.
That's like the big one that's been getting a lot of social media play.
Sure.
Which, like Alexis Ohanian, who's married to Serena Williams, founder of Reddit, he was making a really big deal about how much he was doing it, I think, with a different AI, with different LLM, but he was really into how it like reanimated his parents. And I was just sort of thinking about, I don't know if I want that.
A lot of complicated feelings on this.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want you to reanimate my dead cat. I don't want you to reanimate anybody who's passed. Like, maybe if you want to do a cool, like,
but that people are going to get this feature. People are going to get this feature, and their entire photo history library is going to be in there, and they're totally going to do that. I mean, not everybody, but when it's baked in and it's right there, you don't have to think to like go to a site and service to do it anymore. Then, I'm sure people will get curious and try it. But yeah, it's weird.
Before you needed a Hollywood budget to do it,
Yeah.
like with Star Wars, but now anyone can do it.
I like to think that Google did this because we talked about on the show, I don't know how many weeks ago, we were like,
yeah, I know. We were talking about like, they're going to do this in Google Photos.
And here it is. Yes. So we called it. We gave Google the great idea. They totally didn't think of this on their own.
Here on Android Faithful first.
Yes, right, indeed. That's how it always works. All right. And then Michelle, what you got?
Our last app story is about an update to Phone Link, or Link to Windows on Android. So a new version of Link to Windows is rolling out on Android phones, and this brings a new interface to the app on your device. So they're introducing several new features, including the ability to remotely lock your PC from your Android phone using the app. They're also adding the ability to see your recent clipboard history. So on certain phones, you can already do cross-device clipboard sync between your Android phone and your Windows PC, but only on devices that have Link to Windows pre-installed. And now it looks like you can access more of your clipboard history from your Android phone through the Link to Windows app. So you can see like not just your most recently copied thing, but like at least several of your most recently copied items. And this interface also makes it easier to send files. You can just quickly tap a button inside the app. You can also see a list of your recently copied files that you received from your PC. And there's also a button to cast your screen to your PC instead of, in case you have your phone on you, you don't want to open the Phone Link app on your PC and then initiate casting from there. Now you can do it from your phone. So these are just several updates to make the cross-device connectivity between your Windows PC and your Android phone better. Because, Google is not going to be giving you these features because they have Chrome OS and soon their own Android PC software. So it's got to be Microsoft who's going to give you these things.
Interesting. You
Thanks,
use this
Daddy,
a lot,
Microsoft. I do.
Now stop pushing. Now stop shoving Bing and Edge on me.
I do use Edge for PDFs because I feel bad for it.
I think I just saw today.
I don't want to leave it out.
That Clippy's coming back in the form of an AI chatbot.
I know. We don't need to talk about it though.
That's gonna be fun.
This is not.
Come on, this is Windows Faithful. Isn't that what this show is called?
This is bonus content you need to pay me for if you want to get this rant.
All right, maybe we'll get into that in After Hours. Speaking of, we got to get to After Hours, but we have an email to read before we can get there. So, Wynn, over to you. This is a little bit of an email.
It's an email.
This isn't a short one. This is a long one.
Not. It came all the way from Norway, and the subject line is important. Subject: Can y'all yell at Wear OS-OEMs for me? When is LE audio support coming? All right. So I'm currently just an opinionated consumer in a small market, Norway, and me posting about it on Reddit or similar would be the equivalent of the Simpsons meme, old man yelling at cloud. But seriously, the better power efficiency is already a big deal when paired to the phone. Noise canceling, phone calls, and Gemini Live really make your mileage vary on standard Bluetooth connections. LC3 LE audio improves this a lot in my experience. Therefore, the impact would be multiple times greater on wearables with small batteries and would open up a plethora of new use cases. I would never play music or an episode of Android Faithful on my watch, even if it was already downloaded and not streaming. It just drains the battery too much. The OEMs advertise better efficiency while running marathons, often as phone free implied. But running without hype music? I know those people exist, but they're a mystery to me. I've used Gemini on my watch relatively a lot, and it is actually great. Reminders, doing smart home stuff, and sending messages. And the watch format genuinely adds value. Let's say you're making food, or other times you have your hands full and don't want a phone in your hands. I.e., the other day, while I rode one of those e-scooters, show me the fastest and least trafficked route to the XYZ store. And it asked follow-ups like what store location I meant, if I drove, walked, or biked, etc., while I had my eyes on what I was supposed to. But at the same time, I feel using a phone or any device on speakerphone should be punishable by law. So I would certainly feel uncomfortable if Gemini started babbling when I used it in public. But it is totally more discreet to use it with headphones/earbuds. I often use it that way on my phone, even with the camera share thing while I shop for groceries. Compare the nutritional values between these cereals. What here contains vitamin C? So my point is, Wear OS and Gemini would gain a lot if the watches gained LE audio support. It's supposed to make multi-point connections easier to add to device feature lists, and also make headphones watch connections a lot more plausible, and something you'd actually something you'd actually do more often. Fredrik from Norway.
Thanks, Fredrik.
No, that was very in-depth and very humorous.
It's all really good points, actually.
No, it is.
I don't go for my walks or my hikes without my phone because the syncing between the audio and the smartwatch is it's finicky. It's not always very trustworthy that it's going to work just right. So
and I never tried to do that. I never attempted.
Yeah, like I'm very scared to leave without the phone on me, and I know they
Yeah.
advertise that you should be able to, but that's
right. Like it would be really convenient if I went for a run and just had my watch and Bluetooth earbuds, but it never even occurs to me, and I just usually just have my phone in my hand. That sort of thing.
And I like the point too that as much as smartwatches try to do the Dick Tracy thing for years now of like you talking into the watch, it's not really feasible and not really socially acceptable to do in most places. So it makes a lot of sense to actually, the more wearables and watches and other wearables become kind of more prevalent and more like everyone's using them and they kind of take on more functionality. It makes sense that sometimes you would want to pop in some headphones or something to go with them, but not.
Can
but
I
I
tell
would never.
you?
No.
Sorry.
No. Please. No.
I wanted to just offer a little anecdote. When I was in LA in May, I was at Burbank Airport waiting for my family, and this woman is having problems because she was trying to, coordinate drop off and pick up. And she could not change the Bluetooth from her watch to her phone. And it was an Android phone. So it was Samsung and a Samsung watch. And so after she was done with her call, I shouted to her and I said, "It's because Android wants you to choose which speaker you want to listen to." And so then I helped her on her little phone figure out next time when she gets a phone call. Because when you answer it on the watch, sometimes it will use the watch as the speaker instead of the phone that it came on. It's just... It's not seamless.
Not seamless. So much of what we talk about on this show is not seamless in the world of Android. But hey, after however many years,
we be saying that about us being Android faithful? Like,
I think I'm just being realistic.
We're speaking the truth.
Yeah,
I think if you really love a thing, then you know its flaws as well as
it's true.
And what's the opposite of flaws? Plus points, pros. You know its cons and its pros.
Yes.
Good points and bad points. There
Indeed.
you go.
Correct. I know my own good points and bad points because I love myself. You're right.
That's right. And we love you, and we love the Android faithful. And it is from that place of love that we say goodbye to you for this evening, because you got an extra long episode. Aren't you lucky?
Here's
a
the
chunky
review.
one.
I'm sorry, but
Good
thank
for
you. Guys for the time.
you. we had a lot of stuff to talk about. Flo, what do you want to leave people with?
As always, you can sign up for my newsletter at androidfaithful.com. And if I would appreciate if you got it in your inbox, but of course we are publishing it to androidfaithful.com if you'd like to go read it there. Also, you can find me every week on the Material podcast on the Relay Network at relay.fm/material. And I'm here. I'll have my review this week on androidfaithful.com of the Galaxy Z Fold 7. So look forward to that.
Heck yeah. Heck to the yeah. Thank you, Flo. Michelle, what you got?
So I don't have my own podcast or separate newsletter yet, but if you want to find my work, you can follow me at a lot of different sites. I also post primarily on Android Authority. You can go to my Linktree page and find all my articles. I post a ton every week and every month about Android, and there's a lot more coming up in the world of Android because Google never sleeps and I will never sleep either.
Yeah, your Telegram is
Neither
constantly
do I.
popping. It's like I know it's the work day because I see the little Michelle pops come in on my PC from Telegram, and I'm like, oh, a new piece of news.
Well, thank you, Michelle. Lots of links for people to check out your work there. And then Win, what about you?
I want to know, especially since Burke is now in chat with us, since he started watching a little late, that, you can submit stories to us. And in fact, the Cheez-It story, which didn't win the patron pick, but is absolutely fascinating about how a Cheez-It can fool Samsung's antioxidant feature, was submitted by the fabulous Burke, who's with us today. And I just want people to know that. And randomtyping.com for my stuff. So there you go.
Needs to be said.
Needs to be said. Thank you, Burke.
Burke also sent me a text message a few minutes ago to say, hey, Jason, you're on the wrong mic. So, Burke, thank you for your support. Always. You're always there. And I appreciate you. As for me, just go to youtube.com/@JasonHowell. I got my reviews there. You can find me on ZDNet writing articles. Of course, AndroidFaithful.com. Where I wrote about my Fold 7 impressions. Just kind of doing a lot of things, keep them busy. It's how we roll. But thank you, everybody, for joining us each and every week. We appreciate having you with us on this wonderful voyage of the Android Faithful. You can find the show at androidfaithful.com. You can support us on Patreon, which we really appreciate, patreon.com/androidfaithful. Find us all over the socials. Send us an email, contact@androidfaithful.com. I'm pretty sure Ron's going to be back next week. And we'll have a lot more for you then. I think I'll have my review of the Nothing Phone 3. Bye.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Ran out of time. Okay. All right. Let's do the title and then get to After Hours because holy moly.
Please.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. We won't read through all of these because there's a lot, but we will read the top ones. You've done 399 cycles. Are you feeling lucky? I like that. You feeling lucky, punk? Android development inception. AF patron pick. They went to Jared. What?
Because Jared submitted
a story.
a story.
Oh, okay. All the dirt on the Z Fold 7. Ooh. Oh, kind of like that.
I like
one.
that. Yeah.
Z Fold 7 wobbles, but it won't fall down. 90s title. I wish the Pixel 6 would just stop battering me. Battering me? I don't understand that one. I was in the 90s too. Gently used ASUS tablet. Saying the quiet part out loud. Doesn't run Doom. Unfolding, unpacking, and warping through the tour like whoa. Anti-Flow reviews the Z Fold 7. The Android anti-airdrop class.
Flow, though.
Don't worry, we don't have to pick that one. My Android relationship has been fine for 15 years. Is that a fold in your pocket, or are you happy to see me? Had to know that one was coming at some point. Is that a Z Fold 7 in your pocket? Galaxy Fold 7 goes on tour. I say all the dirt on the Z Fold 7. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
That one ties it together.
Yeah.
All the dirt.
Like a good rug.
On. Yes. Z Fold 7.
Good rug.
Like a good rug.
Like
It
a
really
very
tied the room
well-loved
together. Really tied the room together. All right, everybody. Thank you for being with us this evening. We are going to wrap things up so we can get to our second part of this evening, the after hours, which, by the way, you can enjoy if you are a patron, patreon.com/AndroidFaithful. And that's all there is to it. If you are a patron, expect it in a few hours in your feed. Thank you, everybody. Fun times hanging out with y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for being here.
Look at my
We'll see you soon.
sunburn. Bye. Don't get sunburned.